Florida from January to February continues here at Volusia Speedway Park. The late models come into town for Twin 50s at the home of the Gators in Volusia Speedway Park. Should be a fun one here on Florida Speedweeks Night number 2. Brought to you by our friends at Flatline Racing Bodies. You get a good look at one of the best tracks in the Coast to Coast Racing League. We also have later tonight the World Center of Racing, the ARCA cars in town. One of my favorite super speedway cars. Constant 2-wide, 3-wide action on the edge of your seat. You're not going to want to miss this at the World Center of Racing. Well, we're so glad you could join us on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Marty Sakala with you alongside Zach Chapman. Zach, we're getting set to go for a great race with the pro late models. They never disappoint. What are you watching out for?
You know, I'm definitely hoping I see some patience. That's what I hope I see, running these Twin 50s. Hopefully guys aren't going for it in the first 10 or 20 laps. I mean, obviously, if you're in the back, you got to be, a little aggressive from the start, but there's a smart way to do it. You know, you don't need to go up there and slam doors with anybody and get anybody mad at you real early in a race. It's going to be a long night, and tire wear is definitely going to be something we're going to keep an eye on, Marty.
Absolutely. Let's explain the format here of the pro late model side of things. This has changed within the last hour or two. This was supposed to be a 100-lap straight-up feature, but now it's been divided into 2 twin 50-lap features. And the reason why for that is because the tires, when you test it out on 75 to 100 laps, were expected to go down to 30%, which would not have been some exciting racing one bit. Want to have the best racing as possible that we can, have the drivers go 100%. So that's why we're doing the Twin 50s. We'll have the B main followed by the first 50-lap feature, and then you'll still have a second chance at the second 50-lap feature.
Yeah, and you said it. It's basically done for entertainment purposes and a little bit for the drivers, too. Nobody really wants to drive around like a pace car for 30 laps and make sure they have tires for the last 10. So, I get it. It would be nice to see a little bit of strategy mixed in, but at the same time, you want to see good hard racing for 50 nonstop laps, and that's the way to do it.
Absolutely. So here's how the rest of the week is going to go here. We've had a fun week so far. This is only just night 2. Last night we had a clash at the Coliseum with the next-gen cars, followed by the duels at Daytona, which was a lot of fun to watch. Later on this week, we'll have UMPs at Volusia, followed by trucks, then 360s and Xfinity, and then 358 and Next Gens. This is going to be a great week to kick off the week, especially in advance of the first NASCAR weekend of the year, too, Zach.
Yeah, who can't? It's like this is almost as like Christmas for us, Marty. We had the 360s last weekend, NASCAR coming up. The Outlaws at Volusia. This is one of our favorite times of the year. I almost get goosebumps thinking about it. I'd love to be able to make the trip down there once in my life and go check them all 3 out. Maybe go down there for 2 or 3 weeks. How much fun would that be?
Absolutely. We just as well wrapped up. We just wrapped up the Rolex 24 last weekend, which was a lot of fun. Very exciting too. And a big congratulations to all the winners. Penske Porsche taking the overall class win. Yes, I know that was finished a lap too early, but hey, it was still a phenomenal race. The outcome would not have been any different if they went 1 lap later. Could have been, but would not have been. So, anyway, just wait on an extra delay here. I'm not sure what's going on. I would assume the driver's meeting is happening, explaining what's going on with this race if I were to guess, Zach. But a heck of a car count for the late models to get things going here with 30 drivers.
Yeah, it is a heck of a car count. Am I listed on that car count yet?
You are not.
I think I'm on my way in here if I did that right. I think maybe that's part of the way, or part of the reason they were waiting. Not totally on me, but I think they were trying to get me in that.
All right, possibly. We'll see what happens. Trevor Giroux right now in the 075, your quickest driver on the track, a 14.817. That's better by about 4 or 500ths over the next guy, which is the 78 of Jack Clevenger. A great lap time for Giroux as we get set to go for qualifying. Just double checking here. I don't believe you are on the list, unfortunately, Zach.
No, yeah, I think I clicked to watch, not to race. So we're gonna try this again here.
I don't know if it will put you back in as a driver, unfortunately, because qualifying has already began. So.
If not,
hey,
I love sitting up here with you, Marty.
I know you love being up in the booth. Connor Ross will watch Canada Connor make his way out on the racetrack last week, and 2 weeks ago, I should say, pulled off an incredible situation, not a triple crown, but was on pole for all 3 features we had at Lincoln Speedway in the Open 358, the Rebels, and the Renegade, and won 2 out of 3.
Yeah, and he was moving his. I believe in the Renegades, he had a little bit of trouble in the heat and started back behind me, but he was moving. Like, he had passed me, he was on his way up there, and he got caught into some trouble. So who knows if he could have kept the nose clean? He may have pulled off the triple.
Jesse Atkinson, the quickest, 15:89. Connor Ross was second as you watched his lap time. Isaac Salas moves up to 4th at a 15:96. Mark Gilbert just clocked 16th on lap 1 at a 16:17. That car is for sale, so if you want to purchase a virtual iRacing car, do it. Here comes Gilbert off for turn number 4. This looks to be a better lap, but it's going to be close after a tough second half of the lap, and he was off the pace. Caluira goes up to 11th quick at a 16:02. As other drivers finish the laps. How about Dylan DeWert in the 020 Full Throttle Motorsports ride? 4th quickest at a 15:96. He's quicker in Sector 1. How about in Sector 2, as we've got a minute left in qualifying? Up to 3rd, 15:94. Great lap for the 020. And folks, Zach Chapman did make it on the racetrack, so we'll watch with you. Rode on board with him a 16:12, his best lap on lap 1. That is 19th quickest. Believe one driver will not take time, that being Bob the Good. And so with that said, the Pink Panther is the quickest, and Jesse Atkinson at a 15:89. And you look at this field here right now, Zach. The top 7 drivers all separated by under a 1/10 of a second.
Yeah, and I mean, I definitely, well, like you say, I slowed down on that second lap. It was obvious. I should have stayed up high. Didn't have a lot of speed on the first lap. Looking at those times, I imagine they were running up high, and man, they're quick. It's gonna be a fun race. I'm happy to see now too that there's no invert, so the guy who got the pole didn't really get penalized, because that's always a shame in a close race like this.
Absolutely. We now move on to the heat races. 4-hour dirt session. Heat 1 is always brought to you by Flatline Racing Bodies. Quality racing bodies produced by Dan Chapman in the iRacing hotbed of Clarence, Iowa. On the pole positions, the Pink Panther, Jesse Atkinson, the 127. Next to him, it is Sam Bachman. James Bond is in the 007. Row number 2, Anthony Morano in car 32. And Stephen Goldner's next to him outside of row number 2. Row number 3, Soupy Dan McLaren in the number 88, and Mark Gilbert's next to him in the 17. Rounding out the field in row 4, the Bassman Roger Craig in the 747, and Cullen Johnston with the Rainbow Road paints. Am I looking at that correctly, Zach? Is that Rainbow Road?
I'm seeing just a unicorn on it. It's got a Sparkle Unicorn Racing is what it says
pretty. It's so pretty
on the side of it.
Sparkly. I first thought it was Rainbow Road, like
Mario Kart.
Yeah,
I know
like
exactly
Mario
what you were
Kart.
thinking of. Yep.
So
That's for anybody listening, especially Doyle Lawrence if he's listening, because that man can paint a car. That's what you need to paint, a Rainbow Road car.
let us know who you're rooting for, by the way, in the chat. Trevor's tuned in. Thanks for joining us. Yes, it's been a while. I was off last week because I was calling a hockey game in downtown Rochester, but we're back and we're green for Heat 1. Top 4 transfer everyone else down to Conce's. As Atkinson and Bachman door to door off at 2. The Ace 27 out in front. Yes, it's not the 127. The Ace 27 with the deck of cards he's got, showing his hand and leads the opening circuit. Bachman down in second. Morano third, and Goldner rounds out the top 4. High side seems to be the place to be, but early on, both crews will come in hot.
Yeah, I think you're going to want to be on the high side probably around lap 3 or so once you're up the full song. As you see, Atkinson, he's making the bottom work, but in the middle of the corner, he's losing so much speed, and he doesn't really have the room to get back in the gas. There's not enough tack down there. He's going to have to move up before he loses the lead.
Watch out the driver that is in 5th. Mark Gilbert's coming pretty good on the high side. Has made this a 5-car battle. Look how close they are from our drone cam down the back.
Yeah, and this is where, you don't really want to be Morano either. He seems like he's hooking up on the bottom a little bit better than Atkinson, just getting down there a little lower, and he's going to get bound up behind us. Never mind as Atkinson throws the slider, but he's going to cross him over here. That
may have been a risky slide job, and here comes Morano to make it 3 wide for the top spot, with Bachman stuck in the sucker hole off of 4. Atkinson, though, hanging on. Let's see what Morano does as he tries to send it. Goldner goes around to the 30. Nice 360, though, but that puts him outside of a top 4 spot.
Yeah, tough break, Bachman had to get up, and when he checked up, Gilbert didn't really check up in time, seeing Goldner have to check up, so it's just a racing incident there for sure.
Morano giving Atkinson a fight. You saw last lap, the 127 trying to pinch the 32 next to the Jersey barrier off of 4. We're coming to the white flag, though. 1 lap to go. Atkinson, Morano, or does Bachman steal it? Let's see what happens.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, Marty. Don't be surprised these two get throwing elbows together. That 007 come out of nowhere because he was quick.
Slide job by Morano. No, he doesn't throw it, but Morano gets on the gas off from 4. Steals it from the Atkinson. 0.03 of a second. Now that's a good start to the night.
Yeah, you aren't kidding, and that's tough for Atkinson. It seemed like he did the right thing. He threw that tough slider to take the top away, but he was just able to make the bottom work. Very impressive by Morano.
Show you your top 4 here real quick coming out of heat race number 1. That's how they look. Morano, Atkinson, Bachman, Gilbert make it in. McLaren, Goldner, Craig, and Johnston will go to a last chance Conce. Now we move on to heat race number 2. Let's get you the starting lineup as they roll off. Heat 2 brought to you by Full Throttle Motorsports. Canada Connor Ross on pole position. Next to him, it's slide job Isaac Salas in the 5. Row number 2, Corey Boudinot in the 034, and next to G.J. Boydell in the 014. Row number 3, the Money King, Kyle Moonen in the car number 24, and next to him, it's Jeff Kemper in the 110. Rounding out the field in row number 4, the Mayor, Steve Bixler in the 75, and Bill Calder in the 325. He deserves a nickname.
Yeah, we'll have to come up with something for him.
I was thinking the ambassador.
You remember when NASCAR had the Young Guns, the Gillette Young Guns?
Yes.
Man, these two on the front row, these would be it. Maybe Blake Chapman, you throw him in there, but these two on the front row right now, that's some of the best this league has to offer. We're gonna get treated to a great race here. And
they're all clean shaven too, as we're green for heat race number 2. Off of turn number 4, still side by side. It's Salas that leads the opening lap by just a couple inches.
No, yeah, and this is how you do it too, Marty. These are two fast guys that really like each other and respect each other. So, I mean, they're going to be clean. Ooh, and then...
Boudinot. A risky slider from Howe crowded the front bumper of Connor Ross, and with the hard racing from 5th on back, actually allowed them to open up some leeway. So, Connor got a little bit of a gift there, hanging on to that final transfer spot.
Yeah, Corey got a little bit of a gift too. I think Connor checking up. Connor did the smart thing, knowing that it's going to be a long race. He just needs to make the show, and yeah, he probably gave up on a shot at a heat race win here by checking up, but got to live to fight another day.
Absolutely. Salas, though, with the advantage by a half second. Quickest car, though, on track is that number 34 in Boudinot, last time by a 15.91.
Yeah, Corey's quick whenever he hops in the car with us on Charity Week. We don't get to see him race much. He normally, is in the booth with Joe White on Wednesday nights. But whenever he races, he normally is pretty fast.
never disappoints. Bruno and Ross still door to door, and now Ross, he caught the Jersey barrier, and look who's closing in. Kyle Moonen, last time by, ran the same lap as Ross, but with Ross in the Jersey barrier, that may have cost us some time, but Boydell was slowing up too. We're coming though to the white flag, 1 to go, Zach.
Yeah, not too sure if Corey was maybe throwing a block there going into 1, or if he just didn't realize Connor was down below him. But Connor had to turn down early into that wall, or Corey was gonna get hit in the left rear quarter panel. So that's a tough break for Connor, but at least he's gonna qualify here, it looks like.
Salas wins C2. Boudinot, Boydell, and Ross all join in the transfer spots. Moonen, Kemper, Bixler, and Calder down to B mains. So Isaac Salas starting the outside of the front row. The full throttle Venom Alliance continues here. As we'll pull up your results here from our second heat race. Margin just over a second on Boudinot. The gap was a half second between Ross and Moonen when it came to the final transfer spot. And as I said, Kemper, Bixler, and Calder down to B mains. Now we move to heat race number 3, brought to you by Glen Ridge Motorsports Park. And let's get you your starting lineup. It's Dylan DeWart on pole position in the number 020. And next to him, the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker in the 513. Row 2, it's Trent Verstraeten in the 88. And next to him, Jack Clevenger in the 78. Row number 3 is Shaggy Zach Chapman in the 72. Next to Steve Maurer in the 888. And rounding out the field in row number 4, John Morano in car number 33. No call from Bob DeGrid. He's got a couple seconds to grid. I don't know if he'll make it in time. We'll have to see. But that's how your field looks for heat race number 3. And hello to Brady Floyd checking in, rooting for Jesse Atkinson. And Trevor says, is it bad to root for myself? No, it's never bad. And watching
it's
on
encouraged.
Yes, it is. And watching on the Slide Job Racing Network YouTube channel, as we are doing the multi-stream as we always do on Coast to Coast, one on YouTube, one on the Coast to Coast page, and one of our Slide Job page. GTK checking in says Mark Gilbert is always high. I don't know how to respond to that.
I'm not gonna respond to it either.
You know it though. I know your experience, so you know.
Oh yeah.
Zach, best of luck.
Yep, appreciate it.
All right, so we're set to go for heat race number 3. Top 4 transfer. Winner starts inside of row number 2. DeWart and Barker get us going. Slider from DeWart into turn number 2, and Barker has to check up to avoid hitting the back of the number 20. Here comes Verstraeten underneath. As we're 3 wide for third. Chapman taking the risk. Lap number 1 led by Verstraeten, and no yaw from Clevenger. Chapman has to check up because of it. Here comes a run by Maurer, nearly 3 wide for the final transfer spot. Chapman doors the 78 up the racetrack, a lot like Ricky Thornton did to Jonathan Davenport last weekend, but we got a race for the lead. Trent Verstraeten downstairs on DeWart for the top spot as you watch for the drone off at turn number 2. Try and show you every battle that we can. Oh, and Maurer and Clevenger touch. Chapman touches with Barker. Everybody hanging on for dear life, and Maurer takes away 4th. Now Clevenger just about sends it up the hill. Maurer with a slide job, a lot of yaw in turn number 4 and 3 wide again. Oh, a hard hit for Steve Maurer. That catches John Morano. Chapman able to dodge the bullet. I don't know how the 78 was not involved in that accident either. But now we go back up to the race lead. Trent Verstraeten hanging on Dylan DeWart, who's on the top shelf where Mama hides the cookies. Look at that Full Throttle Motorsports number 20 car do. Caution on the track. Okay, this is a first for me. We have not seen, I don't know why we have a caution flag out in a heat race, but Steve Maurer has taken her to the pits. I don't know if that is the cause of the yellow or race control through. Let me see what's going on, what Zach is hearing. What are you hearing there on that caution?
I'm kind of listening to what you're saying, and I assume that it was just maybe if I don't know if he came to real slow going in the pits and left, but I'm as shocked as you are because normally these things aren't turned on for heat, so I'm not sure if this was on purpose or not.
Taking a look
I
at
haven't got
this.
confirmation.
Gonna ride on board here. You see everyone catching the back of Maurer. And yeah, he stopped it on the track, and you know that's probably thinking, you know, we don't have cautions in heat races. I guess that was a caution flag. That was, I'm double checking the chat here.
Yeah, no, and I mean,
I
like
think the
say,
setting was forgot
all
to be
our
changed.
races, like don't normally have cautions in heat. So if, as far as I'm concerned, if he had a damaged car, he did the right thing because normally we just stop and escape out. So I mean, I seriously doubt he did that on purpose.
So, all right, thanks so much, man.
Yeah.
So should be coming green this time by with a single file restart. Oh, and the fearless leader, the Bassman, Roger Craig, just chimed in and said, believes they are on because it's a major event, had to be on for Consi. So I think that kind of makes sense now with it being a major event. So that kind of makes sense. So, but we're coming back to green, 2 laps to go. And we'll see what happens here for straight and set to fire. And a good jump here. Again, single file restarts. Everybody rolling the bottom. Your final transfer spot is Zach Chapman. The 0.2 of a second advantage on Clevenger, who tries to pull up to his door. Off of turn number 4. White flag is out. 1 to go. Barker issuing a challenge to DeWart for the second spot. And you got Clevenger underneath on Chapman. Well, you know who's going to win this heat race. It's going to be Trent Verstraeten, but who's going to take the final transfer spot? Chapman or Clevenger? Rocking it off for 4. Shaggy takes it. It's Clevenger, Morano, Maurer, Andy Good. We'll drop down to a B main. And we will pull up the results here from Heat 3 on your screen. Verstraeten winning by a second on DeWart, followed by Barker, Chapman. They make it on in. Clevenger, Morano, Maurer, Andy Good down to the B main. We now move on to heat race number 4, which is brought to you by our good friends at Catalytic Recovery. Here's your starting lineup. On the pole, a pair of buds. Brian Lawson in the 9. Next to him, it's Dean Reynolds in the 79. Row number 2, it's Kelly Wheeler in the 110. And Trevor Giroux, the flyer fan in the 075. Row 3, it's Gary Sigelkow in the number 25. And next to him, it's Jim Bowie in the 058. Rounding out the field, it's Barry Goldner in car 36. A fun heat race there, by the way, that last one, Zach.
Yeah, definitely a lot of fun. A little bit of rubbing when you have to, a little bit of bumping, but the track's really racy. It's 2 grooves if you can do it. It's really tough to run the bottom, but you can do it.
Absolutely is. Green flag is out for Heat 4. Lawson gets a good jump, immediately clears on Reynolds. Does Reynolds show his nose underneath? No, but Kelly Wheeler does. 3 wide for second. Giroux stuck in the middle. Reynolds, though, able to clear, and Giroux edges out Wheeler for 3rd. Final driver in is Wheeler. First guy out is Gary Sigelkow in 5th, lurking on the 110 of Wheeler. See what he can do trying to make it in that Venom ride. He's got Barry Goldner all over his tail. And now Giroux trying to issue a challenge to the boss of the Super Dirt Car Series here, Zach.
Yeah, he's trying to find a way. Dean's running in really deep. He's running higher than anyone. It's obviously helping him on corner entry, but in the middle of the corner, he's losing a little bit of time, but gains it almost all back at the end of the straightaway after getting all that speed.
Gary Sigelkow, by the way, we're hearing has crashed. So caution out for Sigelkow with a lot of right side damage. That's a tough break. Was the first driver out of a transfer spot as we look at what happened with Gary. Racing Barry Goldner for 5th and just touched and just lost control of the car, and that's a heavy hit into turn 1.
Yeah, straight to the pits for Gary.
And that will put him down into the B main. You know what would be fun? Fun, Zach, for the heck of it? If
What are you thinking?
in iRacing, if you damage your car in a heat race, you'd have to have the exact amount of time required or optional to repair it to get back on the track for the next session. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that's got to be
Be like a simulator.
in their eventual future, right? I mean, yeah, because that's on the course towards realism. That's got to be coming in eventually in their plans. I'd hope.
We're getting rain soon. Hopefully, we can get it on dirt.
Yeah, yeah, that would be nice. Just have it like shower real quick. Just change the track up. Obviously, not make us sit here for the whole delay, but it would be really nice to change the track up on the drivers in between sessions like that.
And take a look off at turn number 4, this beautiful sunset. Racetracks and Sunset, CC Dean as we come back to green. Great start from Lawson. Field makes the way off at turn number 2. Wheeler still the final car in. Barry Goldner on his back bumper. As Wheeler tries to work the cushion, Goldner looks for bite off at 4. They still stay nose to tail, and we've got a race for the lead. Here comes Reynolds on Lawson, Zach.
Yeah, he's trying to make it work. It looked like Lawson maybe overdrove corner entry a little bit, and Dean was able to make it up. But the real story here is the speed that Lawson gets coming out of turn 4. He really gets to pull away, but Dean's trying as hard as he can to get to that door with 2 to go.
Last lap for Reynolds, best lap of the heat race by all drivers, 16:11, and Giroux ran a 16:12. We've got 1 lap to go. Race for the heat win and a race for the final transfer spot between Wheeler and Goldner. Field makes the way off at turn number 2. Brian Lawson's glad he doesn't have a rear mirror because he doesn't have to see this. Folks, in off at front. And off at turn 4, Giroux takes the 2nd spot from Dean Reynolds. Lawson with the win, and Kelly Wheeler has the final spot in.
Yeah, Dean just got a little squirrely in the middle of 1 and 2. Wasn't able to carry that speed he needed down the backstretch, and that was a good race between him and Claude. I want to say Claude Giroux is a hockey player between Giroux.
Get you your 4th heat race results. Pull them up on the screen. Lawson winning by just over 1/4 of a second. That's actually the second closest finish that we've had in heat races today. And then Barry Goldner, Jim Bowie, Gary Sigelkow down to the Consi. All right, so let me make sure I just saw this correctly. We have a C main. Let's look.
Yeah, 12 of us make it to the B main from what I saw, because I'm involved in this too. So it didn't take the top 4 from the heats. It must have took the top 3.
We double check here and confirm.
Yeah, because Connor got 4th as well in Heat 2, and he's in this.
So I guess it took the top 3. Force a habit, we're normally used to the top 4, so let's give you your starting lineup for our C main. Mark Gilbert, Connor Ross, row number 1. Zach Chapman, Kelly Wheeler, row number 2. Actually, Mark Gilbert did not make the call to grid. So it's Zach and Connor, row 1. McLaren and Wheeler, row 2. Row number 3, Clevenger and Moonen. Row number 4, Stephen Goldner and Barry Goldner. Row 5, Jeff Kemper, John Morano. Row 6, Jim Bowie and Roger Craig. Row number 7. Just confirming everything here. Roger Craig,
yeah,
Jim
it's hard
Bowie,
to do
Steve
when people
Bixler,
don't grid up.
Steve Maurer, Gary Sigelkow, Cullen Johnston round out the field. We'll have 1 lap to green this time by. We are taking 12 drivers out of this. So, Zach, best of luck.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I hope everybody else remembers that it's the top 12 and not the top 3.
Yes. We will focus on the race for 12th. If it's a very close one, after 1 lap. Well, hello to our friends at the Hillbilly Speed Shop that have just checked in on the Slide Job Racing Network page. Thanks for joining us, guys. Broadcasting some of their races in the past. Appreciate having them on as we are green for our C-Main, as you saw McLaren get really squirrely in turn number 2 right out of the gate. That may have actually helped him out. Here he goes low on Zach Chapman for the race lead as we're 3 wide mid-pack. Chapman leads the opening circuit. Let's go to the race for 12. Jim Bowie has it for now, but he let off the gas as there's a huge stack up further back, and we've got a wreck. Roger Craig and Barry Goulder. Oh, a bigger wreck further up ahead. C2CRL is involved. That's Steve Maurer. Somebody's lost a front bumper. That is Bixler. We've junked up a bunch of them on the C-Main on lap number 2. So let's take a look at what happened. First off, between Roger Craig and Barry Goulner. You see Goulner's already sideways, and that stack up Goulner just hit the 747. And then in front, oh man, the impact Jim Bowie has with the wall, along with another car. Let's get another angle of that. So everyone's trying to avoid Roger and Barry, and up the track went C2CRL and Bowie, and they hooked with Bixler, and that is a wicked collision. Bixler's front nose clip is gone. It's right on board with the mayor. This is going to be a heavy, vicious impact. So luckily for all the drivers, one quick repair. There you see Mark Gilbert, by the way, did get on track. I would assume that he decided to start from the pits. Gilbert gets on the tail end of the lead lap, will be 1 lap down. And this will be a double fire restart, as we were able to complete a lap, but we were not at 10 laps to go yet. Chapman and McLaren, the front row. Shaggy, the control car, 4-hour restart. Here we go. Sent by Chapman, leaves McLaren a lane. This could give the 88 the lead, or even Connor Ross. Look out, Chapman up the hill. Kelly Wheeler gave him a bumper. Goulder making contact with a 110, and McLaren led the lap of the line. And right now, your 12th place driver was on the lead lap still. That, my friends, is Mark Gilbert. As company next driven, Steve Maurer for the final transfer spot. Barry Goulner and Steve Bixler both to spot. Oh, what a slider from Gilbert. Can't let it stick, though. Barry Goulner and Steve Bixler both who had heavy impacts in that accident in front of that 17. And now, Steve Maurer approaching the 17 with Gilbert trying to attack Goulner and losing momentum. Meanwhile, Connor Ross is taking the lead. There's a slider from Gilbert to take 11th. Beautiful move. Maurer a little bit too much gas here. Here comes Roger Craig looking underneath. They touch in the race for 13th. Let's go back up to the front of the field. Connor Ross is the new leader. McLaren second. You watch the race for third between Clevenger and Chapman. Goulner closing on both of them. 4 laps to go at the line. Keeping a close eye on what's happening in 12th on the live timing of your screen. Pull up the delta here, and if you see the red, if you see the gap close into red, that's when you know it's getting good. Roger on Maurer for 13th, not working there. 3 laps to go, and now Goulner looking for 11th on John Morano. Here comes Maurer all over his bumper. gap a half car length into turn number 3. Barry up on the cushion. Maurer touches. Here comes Roger Craig, who takes away 13th. And now he's fighting for the final transfer spot with 2 laps to go. Who wants to race in the back of the B main? And who goes home? We're about to find out. Goldner looking for an insurance spot here. John Morano throws a slide job. And Goldner has to back out of the gas. Touches with Morano. And Roger Craig up to 12th. Morano and Craig now side by side for the final transfer spot. Off at turn number 2. Who's going to make it into the last chance showdown? Morano tries the slide job on Craig. They both get together. Morano takes it from the Bass man. What a way to end the C main in the battle for 12th. And let's show you how this field looked. We pull up the results here. Ross, McLaren, Clevenger, Chapman, Goldner, Wheeler, Kemper, Moonen, Bixler, Gilbert. That was your top 10. Rest of the field looking like this from 11 through 19. So now we go to the B main, and Zach, correct me if I'm wrong, but we have heat winners in this, correct?
Everyone is in this. I'm guessing this is like we're racing for feature spots.
So yeah,
like
I guess
every
we were
single
setting up
person's
for
going to
alphabet
transfer.
soup. So that's not bad. I gotta admit, I kind of like that. It's pretty cool.
No, I actually kind of
It's
like
not
this too,
bad.
to tell you the truth. Like, you know, it gives those guys who, like the guy who won Heat 4, for instance, gives him a shot at the pole here. I dig this.
Yes. We are taking everybody into this feature. So we do have our field of 24 drivers. And this is the
I'm
fight
hoping
for the
one day
pole.
iRacing adds random inverts, Marty. Like they do a dice roll too. That would be another neat feature.
That'd be cool too. There's a look at your starting line of Morano, Salas, Verstraeten, Lawson, Atkinson, Boudinot, Dewart, and Giroux. That's the front 4. Rounding out the top 10 on the grid. Make sure we're going one more lap, and we are. Sam Bachman, G.J. Boydell, Jeff Barker, Dean Reynolds decided to start from the back, and starting from the pits, rather. That's Connor Ross, Dan McLaren, Jack Clevenger, Zach Chapman, Stephen Goldner, Kelly Wheeler, Jeff Kemper, Kyle Moonen, Steve Bixler, Mark Gilbert, Barry Goldner, John Morano, all racing in the show. Zach, got to meet your mic again since you're in this 27-lap B main, so best of luck.
Yep, appreciate it.
Not sure why this is a 27-lap B main. That seems like an odd number, but hey, we'll take it. So, hello to Jason Butterfield. Butters checking in and rooting for the Venom team. And they've got a guy on the front row in Isaac Salas. Who's going to start on pole this evening? We're about to find out. Let's go. Off of turn number 2, Morano has the advantage over Salas. Now Salas tries to crisscross and try a slide job. Nope, he does not. Up the track he goes just briefly. But I think Salas may have led lap number 1. I'm not too sure. Way too close to call at the line. Now he goes for the slider on his buddy in Morano and takes the lead. But Verstraeten may go through and pick it off too. Guessing a little bit too early off at turn number 4. Salas, Morano, Verstraeten, all 3 wide for the top spot. Quickest car on track though is Dewart, the number 20 last time out at a 16:37, even in the dirty air and stuff like that. So Verstraeten goes through to position number 2. You've got Morano racing for P3. Dewart moves up to a podium spot. Let's see if Verstraeten can possibly challenge on Isaac Salas. Oh, trouble, Stephen Goldner has crashed, and we also have John Morano and Steve Bixler that appear to be hooked. Now they've broken up. And in a 10-second relationship, the caution flag is out. First yellow of our lineup setter. Sack up there, just a simple touch, and around he went. Let's go from the back of Golden and look at what happened. Wait a second. Wait a second. Controversy in the Vanderbilt camp. They have to call that Operation Pink Panther. No, not Operation Pink Panther. Nah, I was gonna say that. All right, 5 laps in. Isaac Salas, your leader in this B main. We've got it pulled up here, so let's take a look at the 5-lap average that each driver is currently running, and you can see it's very close, obviously with fixed setups. We'll take a look at this a lot more throughout the race tonight. Did confirm too that Dino did not take the green flag, decided it's going to start from the back of this tonight. So coming back to green, going to watch this restart from our aerial shot. Back to green we go. Great jump by Salas. Checking out of the hotel immediately. DeWart, how about the jump he got on the low line? Moves up to second. As it's Buono and Verstraeten that are door-to-door off for 4 for third. Dash to the 88. Looks like Morano may have pinched the wall. I'm not too sure. Trouble, Kelly Wheeler is spun. Yellow flag. Here in another accident too, John Morano off of 4. And that car is destroyed. But these may have been some separate incidents. Consider what happened first off with Wheeler. Who got hit by Gilbert as he was trying to check up. 360, he should be fine to continue. Then to look at John Morano now. Oh man, that car he's got a bad race car. Crab walking in the front, no steering. That's one that's either going to need a quick repair or be taken into the pits. And he's actually decided to put her on the hook and start from the back. Hello to Ghost Rider tuning in, and yes, this is a live game. This is a live video game, so you clicked on live for a reason. So. 28 people watching. That is awesome to see. If you added on the Slide Job Racing Network page, we've got over 30 viewers watching, which is awesome to hear. All right, coming back to the green flag once again. We'll watch from a wide angle here. This time it's a Salas divert front row. We're back to green. Good job by Salas holding serve. Field makes their way down the back. You watch the race for second between Verstraeten and the 020. DeWart hanging on for right now. Bruno looking about threading the needle off at turn number 2. We'll see what he can do there. Otto hanging on the back. Jesse Atkinson looking quiet back in the 6th spot. Biggest mover on the track. Kyle Moonen's up 6 spots, but when you look at amongst the front of the field, it's DeWert up 5. He started back in the 7th position and has made his way up to 2nd. Wow, Single Cow, I think, went up the hill and crowded the 127 of the Pink Panther. 3 wide with Giroux in the middle, has to back out a bit. We've completed 11 laps so far. Atkinson losing a lot of space. Watch, you see him trying to catch back to Morano. He has Lawson next to him. Lawson takes it away, but now we've got a race for the lead breaking out. Dylan DeWert, the fastest car on the track at a 16:21. And is closing in fast. Let's pull up the 5-lap average once again as they work on lap traffic. That's John Morano. DeWert, the quickest driver on the racetrack, and now he looks 2nd group. Remember, there's a pole position on the line. You got a big wreck. 5, 6 cars involved. Lawson has lost the front end. You see Boydell caught up, Stephen Goldner, Jeff Kemper, all involved. Huge accident. Let's take a look at what happened here from an aerial shot. We'll watch with Brian Lawson first. He's racing Atkinson for a position. Caught John Morano, just caught the bumper. Barely. And you know, I got a good feeling that not a lot of drivers will be pleased with the 033 for being that slow on the track and still trying to race. As we'll ride on board here with Jeff Kemper. Trying to fight for a position. Big lick. There's a bunch of drivers making their way on to pit road. Isaac. Isaac giving us rule number 1 of iRacing. That is, it's a sim, not it's a video game. So. I wish I had a car Ghost Rider, but I am actually watching from the mission control. So, and broadcasting this for you. So I'm not driving, I am spectating. We've got 24 real drivers though out here, though. Joe Canellis tuned in. Thanks for joining us this evening. And we have hit 40 viewers combined, ladies and gentlemen. That is awesome, folks. Can we hit 50? Let's see if we can hit 50. We're not even at the feature yet, folks. Thank you all so much for tuning in tonight, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we're coming back to the green flag. Isaac, no texting and driving, buddy. Just saying. Back to the green. Immediately clears DeWert. Now, Salas looks like he's got a better short run race car, where DeWert on the long run. But let's see where this car can come in as we start to approach the witching hour of this B main. Verstraeten hugging the cushion off at turn number 4, looking to get some drive off of it. Same with Atkinson and Bruno, the 3rd driver downstairs. Staying nose to tail as you look from the drone shot. Oh, look at this, DeWert trying a 2nd groove. What a corner. Tries the invert diamond, but got a little bit tight. Here comes Bruno for P3. Everybody hanging on for dear life here in Volusia. Look how tight this is down the back. Verstraeten nearly threads the needle entering turn number 3. Atkinson decides to take a peek in the neutral groove. They nearly touch at the start-finish line. Remember, this is just the B main. You ain't seen nothing yet. DeWart still losing some momentum on the high side. Can Bruno take second? Not just yet, 8 to go. And how about this? Your top 8 cars all separated by a second. Kyle Moonen's in 8th. This is awesome to watch, folks. DeWart looking for the lead, pulled up to the door in the center of 3 and 4. Salas had the bite. Oh, Bruno sent it in deep and found a way to save it and still hangs on to 3rd. And now DeWart all over that bumper of Slide Job. Back on the gas first. He can't stay side by side. 6 to go. Pink Panther looking to break into the podium. And DeWart still trying, not giving up. 5 laps remaining in this B main. The battle for the pole underway. Bad exit from DeWart. They've got a little bit of gas. Used the throttle a little bit too early as he's trying to send it up the hill. And that just cost him a lot of time. And now Isaac Salas has turned on the afterburners with 4 laps remaining. Just remember, where they start is where they finish. Caution with 3 to go. That changes everything. And it's for the mayor, Steve Bixler. Take a look at what happened. Just got caught by Steven Goldner, and the second head-on impact that the mayor has had this evening. He's right on board with them. So should be a single file restart as we do have under 10 laps to go in the B main. Let's pop up as well this 5-lap average. And folks, that just shows you how tight it is. How close everyone is running. And you can't even tell who's got the advantage amongst the top 2. All right, so we're going to see what happens here in a 3-lap shootout. Salas, DeWart, Atkinson, Verstraeten, and Morano. The top 5, everyone waiting for the salsa man to fire. There he goes. As he holds serve, Verstraeten, I think, got a bumper from Anthony Morano, and so Morano using the Bristol bump and run technique. Take 4th. Now Atkinson hugs the cushion. 2 laps to go for Salas. 4/10 of a second lead on Dylan DeWart. Morano looking for 3rd back. Final lap underway here in this B main. This is your front row. Salas and DeWart. Who's going to start on pole? Salas has the advantage in the turn number 3. DeWart has to try a different line. Not going to work. Isaac Salas on pole tonight. DeWart 2nd, Atkinson 3rd, Morano 4th, and Verstraeten rounds out the top 5. So this B main is done. Warm-ups are underway. We will step aside and take a break. When we come back, showtime at Volusia. Stay with us at the Coast to Coast Racing Network. So we're just under a moment away from getting things going here, and track is closed, by the way, at the moment, in case anyone is wondering. But we are moments away from going at it. Zach Chapman, what do you expect here for those 50 laps coming up?
You know, I expect people, and it almost seemed like they're running what was called the B main, you know, for our feature sprint. We'll call it our the sprint race to set the feature. But it seemed like the bottom was where you wanted to be, and I mean that's almost where you'd find yourself wanting to be at the start of a 50 lap race. I think you want to go down there and make sure you're easy on the tires, and then maybe with 24 odd cars, we'll build up a cushion again and be able to go back up there around lap 30, and you'll see two lines of racing. But in the beginning here, I look for guys to be patient and just try not to run over the guy in front of them. Hopefully here, if we're train racing on the bottom.
You will see what happens here in a matter of moments. You got to pick to win while we're waiting.
Yeah, I'm not sure how he looked in the B main, but this guy is always so fast. Anthony Morano in the 32, it seems like no matter what he's in, sprint car, midget, late model, it doesn't matter. He's always towards the front, so Anthony's going to be my pick tonight.
Well, let's pull up as well. We should look at the B main results too, and I'll give you my pick on who I think is going to win this evening. You're going Anthony Morano, huh?
Yeah, that's going to be my horse tonight.
I'll go with Dylan DeWert tonight. So I'll go with his Full Throttle Motorsports teammate. So
Isaac might take that personal. We're just giving you fuel, is all, Isaac. We're just giving you fuel.
Isaac fuel here. He's going to be like, why didn't you pick me? In fact, you know what? I bet you he's texting. He's putting it in the chat right now. I'm not even looking.
Yep, he feels like that high school girlfriend, if you're Josh Allen. Like, you go to college, you start, you can pull anybody you want, and then that girl who was a 10 back in wherever he's from ain't a 10 no more. So that's how Isaac feels right now, I think.
Yeah, probably. Hello to Neil, saying great racing so far tonight. And Neil's actually going to pick Isaac tonight. So he's picking Isaac for the win. Same with Gary. Let us know who your prediction is to win, whether you're watching on the Slide Job Racing Network or on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Reason why we aren't doing anything right now, track is closed for warm-ups as things stand, as we are moments away from going racing. A reminder, twin 50s tonight. First 50 laps, and then we will have a pause in the action. Halftime break. No Machine Gun Kelly concert, luckily, guys. No MGK concert. It'll be a commercial break. Then hopefully we are back for the second set of 50 laps. Here's the starting lineup for tonight's 50-lap feature, brought to you by RSN Trackside. Back a week from Wednesday. The season premiere. Don't miss it on Rock Sports Network. On the pole position, it's Isaac Sala. Slide job of the 5. Next to him, it's Dylan DeWert in the 20. Row number 2, the Pink Panther, Jesse Atkinson in the Ace 27. Next to Anthony Morano in car 32. Row 3, Trent Verstraeten in the 88. Next to Trevor Giroux, the Flyer in the 75. Row number 4, it's Shaggy Zach Chapman in the 72. Next to the Money King, Kyle Moonen in the 24. Rounding out the top 10, Mark Gilbert in the 17. Next to Sam Bachman, he's in the 007. Row number 6, Dan McLaren in the number 88. Next to Jack Clevenger in the 78. Row number 7, the Baruta Beast, Jeff Barker in the 513. Next to Brian Lawson in the 9. Row number 8, Jeff Kemper in the 181. Next to Stephen Goldner in car number 30. Row number 9, Kelly Wheeler in the 110. Next to him. Oh. There we go. Row 8, 9, Kelly Wheeler in the 110. Next to the Mayor, Steve Bixler in the 75. Row 10, Barry Goldner in the 36. Next to G.J. Boydow in the 014. Corey Boudinot, Connor Ross, John Morano, Dean Reynolds round out the field. 3 drivers decide to play it safe and start from the pits. G.J. Boydell, Corey Boudinot, and Dean Reynolds. So I believe the situation here is, Zach, as long as you don't wreck your car, As long as you don't DNF, you will be good to go for the second set of 50 laps.
All right, so I just got to keep all 4 tires on is what you're telling me.
Just try and make it to the checkered flag.
Fair enough.
So, alrighty, best of luck.
Yep.
Alrighty, so we're moments away. Hello to Nathan tuning in, rooting for Mark Gilbert, who's starting in the 9th position. Lucy Olsen start just around the corner. And the field makes their way through 3 and 4. Steve King Foundation pace car set to make its way on the pit road as we say, where else would you rather be than right here, right now? Night 2 of Speed Weeks, it's time to get it on. Field making their way into turn number 3. Salas gets the advantage on Anthony Morano. Jesse Atkinson 3rd. Trevor Giroux 4th. And Trent Verstraeten rounds out the top 5. Atkinson has the flyer edged out. First caution is out. And it's Sam Bachman around in the 007. So James Bine may have had a little bit too much of alcohol shaken, not stirred. As we look at the map, goes Bill Spill running replay to show you what just happened. Ooh, a touch from Jack Clevenger, and he had hit McLaren first. That sent him sideways. Let's take a ride on board with Bachman. To make its way past by. Not too much damage though, luckily, for the 007. So he is good to go. So Bachman takes her to the back of the field. And we should be 1 to green this time by. Again, first caution of the race. Reminder, this feature is not 50 laps. This feature is 100 laps. And we will then reset the field and take a halfway break and then get set to go for the second set of 50. All right. Salas, Morano, Atkinson, Giroux, Verstraeten, Chapman, Moonen, Gilbert, McLaren, Clevenger. That's the top 10 as we're back to the green flag. Salas able to hold serve off at turn number 2, leaves Morano and Atkinson racing for the runner-up spot. And the Pink Panther moves up to P2, 3 wide for 4th for just a moment with Zach Chapman in the middle. Takes a peek underneath on the flyer in Giroux for 4th. Go back up to 2nd, now Atkinson in the cushion, 3 wide for the bottom step of the podium. And they nearly touched between Giroux and Atkinson. Luckily, Atkinson was left to lane. Meanwhile, Salas pulling away. He better know, though, this is a 100-lap feature and not a 30-lap feature. Hey, luckily everything resets, though, at lap number 50. Back into the race for 4th spot, Zach Chapman and Jesse Atkinson. Both lines have the advantage early, but then one will prevail. Normally the low line with the late models. Wait around the go. Let's go on board for a lap with Kyle Moonen. It's around 100 miles an hour going into a corner. Now may think about going 3 wide. Now decides to back out of it to avoid hitting the back of the 72 of Shaggy. If you ever wanted to see what it looks like to drive a late model, as Doc Hudson once said, Godspeed, turn right to go left. That is what he is doing. We've got a challenge, I believe, for the lead. Anthony Morano just moments ago set the best lap of the race. A 16:50 last time by the driver of the number 32. 4 wide off of 4, meanwhile. You can't do that at Volusia, but the late models just proved they can. Atkinson off for turn number 2, has the 4th position. Go to an aerial shot. That's Zach Chapman that moves up. He started from 7th. He's made his way up 3 positions. Same goes for the guy in front of him in Trevor Giroux. Biggest mover on track early, a pair of drivers up 5 spots. Dan McLaren in the number 89. And Stephen Goldner in the 30, who's in 11th. That'll make it up 6 for Connor Ross, who started from the back due to a cold ground moment for his Gambler teammates and has made his way up to 16th. You didn't think I'd say that, would you? But now a race for the lead is underway between Morano and Salas. And now the full throttle driver looking low. And Salas there for just a moment. Takes it back for right now. Back on the gas first before Salas says. It's been a pretty good run to start things off. Let's look at the 5-lap speed. Saw it did go down as they're side by side for the top spot, but we're under caution for the 2nd time tonight. A crash between Kelly Wheeler and Jeff Kemper has slowed the field down once again. Now Salas should be the leader, as he had led the previous lap. Let's take a look at what happened. Racing for a spot for both Wheeler and Kemper. Just caught the back bumper. Connor Ross luckily able to dodge it. Right on board with the back of Wheeler. We can watch Kemper's on board here too. Lights are off the Sea King Foundation pace car. We are coming to green next time by. Watch this restart from our aerial shots. Salas and Morano, row 1. Giroux and Chapman, row 2. And it's McLaren who rounds out the top 5. Nice jump for the driver of the number 5 in slide job. Trying to clear on Morano. They were side by side of the yellow flag last time by. Now 3 wide for 3rd. How about the momentum Jesse Atkinson got down the back? And do we have a new leader at the line? We don't. Salas hanging on for now. 2 wide by 3 wide by 3 wide. Folks, Daytona isn't for another half hour to an hour, but it seems like they're practicing on it on dirt. On board with Morano as he continues to chase the 5 down. Further back is Shaggy has broken into the top, number 3. Oh, look how Drew got a little bit squirrely in turn number 4. Still 3 wide. Atkinson hanging on to 4th for right now. Tries to shut the door on Drew, which he does. Insane racing at Volusia. This is why that this is one of the best tracks on the Coast to Coast Racing League schedule. Oh, look out for Stray in touch with McLaren. Got his bumper briefly. And Drew goes around. Watch out on the low side. And that's a bad one. Bixler caught up. Same with Lawson and Barker. A tough break for the Flyer in the wide open 75 machine, who brings out our 3rd yellow flag of the race. Now we're going to watch from an aerial perspective on what happened with Giroux. And just look at how, that was the moment I was telling you about, the close call between Verstappen and McLaren. That McLaren just slightly nips 75. The front bumper is caved in off the hit Lawson gave him. Let's ride on board. This is how tight it was at Volusia, folks. There's the impact I was telling you about with Lawson. Now let's ride on for the other spot. Right there. Barry Goldner, you see, also involved. We'll give you one more. Let's give you Jeff Barker, who was behind Lawson in all of this. Nowhere to go. So some drivers using quick repairs. Luckily, all these cars will be freshened up when we reach the second half of this race. New car, new tires, new everything. We're going to come back to green once again. 20 laps complete. Salas holding serve. Morano just barely shuts the door on Chapman. Atkinson again. Go high, wide, and handsome into turn number 3. Gilbert catches the wall. You saw in the background. Saw there Dan McLaren get a little bit sideways off in turn number 4. Luckily able to keep it straight. Watch the race for the bottom step of the podium. A lot of drivers hitting the wall. That cushion starting to thin out. We got trouble off of 4. One car around its wheeler. And the night has gone from bad to worse for the number 110. Show you what happened. Turn number 3, lost it by himself, and then Mayer caught the back end. And then the right front got destroyed by Netcode, as it wasn't even going towards the yellow Uke tires one bit. Let's ride on board with Wheeler. All right, so we did just get an update from Roger Craig. There's been a little bit of confusion on what's been going on. The B main tonight was supposed to be 50 laps. This is the final part of the race, so I think that explains everything now. So we are working in the final laps of this one, folks. Again, if you just tuned in, let us know who you're rooting for. A lot of predictions in, a lot of Isaac Salas fans. the Coast to Coast Racing Network. A lot of Mark Gilbert fans watching on the Slide Job Racing Network page. And the lights are off. Salas has led all the laps so far in this late model. Probably his best restart he has had this evening. Now Atkinson underneath for second. But remember, he's been so good up top. Morano up the hill may have helped him out just a bit. Stays tucked behind the bumper. Morano needs a long run to get going. That's been his strength all night, but he may not get it right here. We've got one loose off for 4. That was Kemper. Everybody saves it, though. Now Morano just following the tail end of the 5. That's how close it is, folks. You see Atkinson's right on the 32's tail. And here comes Zach Chapman now underneath on the Pink Panther for 3rd. Top 4 drivers all underneath the blanket with a big gap. From 5th on back, Moonen 3 wide to the wall for Straighten. Chucks up Gilbert, and a row goes Moonen. Catches Clevenger and Verstraeten, and we're under caution once again. That was, to me, that seemed like a very odd wreck. We're gonna watch from an aerial shot and show you what caused all of this. So Moonen puts Verstraeten in the wall, then Moonen actually caught McLaren. So a very wild accident we saw there. Let's ride on board with the 88 of Verstraeten. Backing out of it. That's a wild wreck there, folks. Let's go on board with the Money King. Camera actually went out on us on his rear end. So just about 25 laps to go. Let's look at the 5-lap average here lately and see who currently has it. It's Salas with the sleight of hand over Anthony Morano, and Zach Chapman seems to be the 3rd best car on the racetrack. I don't know if we can look at a 10-lap average here, though. We're not going to look at it, as I believe we are coming to the green this time, and yes, that is the case. Back to green. Again, Salas. Hold serve into turn 1. Morano, does he have 2nd? Doesn't have Atkinson cleared just yet. Here comes McLaren for 4th on the 72. And don't look now, folks. Steven Golder and Sam Bachman are both closing in. And let's remember, Bachman spun to bring out the first yellow of the race. He's in 7th. Steven Goldner started from 16th. He's one of the 5 biggest movers of the race so far in 6th. Starting to catch the field. The last time by was 3/10 off the pace. Salas, meanwhile, still racing. Morano for the race lead. Back on board. Morano tries to look low. Yellow's out. Clevenger around in the 75 and may have also caught Bixler too, and he did. A pair of drivers that have had their issues tonight. Let's look at what happened. Connor catch him, he did. Bixler was trying to avoid. I would like to see what happened with Bixler. Let's ride on board with the mayor. There it is. All right, lights are off. We're coming back to green. Back to green. Great jump from Salas. Stephen Gollner, first one on the cushion, field off for turn 2. Chapman trying to take third from Atkinson. And look at Gollner, riding the rim. Atkinson still has third for right now. Under 20 laps to go. Morano still looking for that lead on Salas. May come down to tire saving at the end. But similar as Chapman touches with Atkinson. And now the top 4 out single file as Atkinson hangs on to third. Let's go back to 5th. McLaren hanging on to the spot with company. A pair of drivers that have made their way from the rear to the front. Oh, Gollner sparks the wall. Hangs on to it, we're back to yellow. And it's again for Kelly Wheeler. And it has called it a night pretty much. Unfortunately, Kelly, you are not the winner tonight. Got spun by John Morano. That's a big impact. Lost the spoiler. All 4 wheels up in the air. Get the onboard here in just a moment. You're seeing the aftermath of all of this. Let's take a ride with Kelly. So, Wheeler's done for the night. Now, Morano, I think at this restart, it's gonna have to be time for him to make a move. We're gonna see what happens. Look at the 5-lap average. You can see now Morano has turned into what appears to be the better race car. Then Salas, followed by Atkinson and Chapman. The field is doubled up. This goes green to the end. Is this the advantage for the 32? Gonna see. We'll watch this restart again from the aerial shot. Salas chooses the inside. Atkinson, Chapman, row 2. McLaren, Gollner, row 3. Bachman, Ross, row 4. Lawson, Gilbert round out the top 10. How about Connor Ross? Started from 22nd and is up to 8th. Salas clears on Morano. Atkinson for 2nd. Can he get it off for turn number 2? Chapman, though, trying to fight back. Oh man, that was tight. It's tight further back when McLaren and Ross are making contact. Ross goes up the racetrack. Morano hanging on to second. There's still winding them up off for turn number 4. Everybody hanging on to for dear life. And around goes Atkinson. Oh, what a save! But the Pink Panther needs a caution to keep a front spot. And it may come here with Gilbert, who's around, and it does. Oh man, Atkinson just got a gift. Man, oh man, business has just picked up. Let's show you first Jesse X and what happened. There was contact from Zach Chapman that sent the Ace 27 around. But then this is what just saved him. They were 4 wide again off of 2. At a return 3, they were 4 wide. That time it just didn't work as Boydell made some touching with Gilbert, and there was John Morano and Barry Goulner all involved. Let's take it on board with the 017. Yeah, look at them just wind it up. Who was that they just missed? I don't know. I want to say that was Kelly Wheeler. Was going full throttle there before that lane closed. Again, the cream is starting to rise to the top as we're approaching the home stretch of this one. What are you thinking, folks? Who is going to take the checkers here tonight? Advantage to Salas, but Morano has kept up really well with the 5 tonight. All right, about to find out. This could be the final double file restart of the night, folks. Just a little something to keep in mind. Best restart Salas has had tonight. Morano caught sleeping big time. No yaw for McLaren in turn 1. Loses a lot of spots. Chapman in third. Atkinson wants to gather it back, and he's probably hungry after he got turned off the 72's bumper. And off for 4. Chapman still hanging on for dear life, and Stephen Goulner has now broken into the top 5s. Connor Ross is loose in 1. Hangs onto it. That puts him all the way back in 9th. Back to the race for the bottom step of the podium. Atkinson may take it off for 4. Can he get back on the gas first? No. Chapman hangs on. Goulner wants 4th. 10 laps to go at Volusia. Who is going to take this feature tonight? Close call for the 127 once again, but Goulner has the 4th position. Is he popping at the right time? Gonna see, but your top 2, Salas and Morano, have broken away from the rest of the field. It's a 3/4 of a second margin between Morano and Chapman. 8 laps to go. When do you make the move if you're Morano? See the gap, just about 2 car lengths. 7 to go. Back to the 5-lap average. Way too close. Who's better this time? Both of them faster, but nobody improving. Yellow flag, though, back out with 6 laps to go. And you saw who it was in the background. It was Barry Goulner. I think that's why the alarm went off. No, I'm kidding. Here's a look. almost lost it on his own. And he decided to get it back going. The field was approaching, so unfortunately that probably would have been a situation where I would have to tow into the pits. So probably not the yellow that you want if you're Anthony Morano. But we will see what happens. Again, single file restarts for the rest of the feature. Salas, Morano, Chapman, Goldner, Atkinson, your top 5. If Morano and Chapman want it, they got to come and get it. Salas just a groove up for the low side, holding serve for right now. No major passes being made. Everybody's still holding suit. 4 laps to go. You saw Atkinson try and take a peek underneath. Found nothing. Chapman on the middle groove. Goldner go up the track. Let's see if Atkinson uses this to his advantage. 3 laps to go. Gap is a 0.3 of a second lead for Isaac on Morano, and here comes Atkinson. Pulled up to the door and turn 3, but had to back out of it. 2 laps to go. And G.J. Boydell was crashed. The yellow flag comes out. We are headed into overtime. There you see Boydell spun in turn 4. Kemper and Barry Goldner were also involved in this. Just got tipped and hit the Uke tire there. And, ooh, something bigger happened. Off of 4 with, I think it was maybe Kemper and Mark Gilbert possibly. I don't know. Here's another angle of it. It's Kemper yanked it to the right. Gilbert on 2 wheels. Let's go on board with the 181. Alrighty, there you see it, folks. Lights are off. Nope, the lights are back on. Correction. We are still 2 to green, as you can see. A reminder, coming up next, we have the ARCA race at Daytona. We were supposed to begin, expected to begin at 9 o'clock. That is scheduled for 50 laps tonight. So again, don't miss out on that. Going green this time by. First of 2 attempts at a green-white checkered. If we get a yellow before the white, we'll try it once again. Is this Salas' time, or does Morano steal one tonight? About to find out. Goldner in the cushion. He may lose 4th to Jesse X, and I think he did. As they're side by side in turn 3. We got to focus up front, though, as we have 1 lap to go here at Volusia. Isaac Salas out in front. He's led every lap so far today. Morano has given him a challenge every single lap, but Salas has been able to hold him off. into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. The Pro Late Model Gator belongs to Isaac Salas, and it does. Morano almost gave him a runoff in turn 4 because of the stopped Barry Goldner. And Isaac Salas takes the checkered flag tonight. See, Zach, there was a reason why I did not want to say his name.
Yep, I told you it was fuel, Marty. It was fuel. And I did message him during the race there. I'll have to go look at that. When he threw that slider, I did try to lift Jesse, so if you didn't see my message, I do apologize. Man, that was a lot of fun racing with you for third.
We'll get to the interview right now. How did you feel about your race car, though, as a whole tonight, Zach?
Oh, man, the lap before that caution came out, I was right on Anthony. I ran my fastest lap of the race. So I was just like, the car was really coming to me. It was bare. I don't think I was full throttle at all on the quick lap, and it sucks that it took me 48 laps to figure it out, but I'll take a third place any day.
So pretty much came at the right place, but just at the wrong time?
Yeah, definitely. I don't think there was any passing going on. If you noticed between me and Jesse, like I say, that was a lot of fun. It almost seemed like the guy who started in fourth was going to come out in third, and we were just swapping back and forth because if the guy on the outside doesn't let you float up to the middle, especially on the exit of 1 and 2, there's just no grip down there. You can't keep up with them when they have all that speed down the backstretch. So you really got to just, hope the guy on the bottom is going to race you respectful. And I got into the back of Jesse, but that wasn't when I was on the bottom. I feel like we were doing a good job of holding our lines and doing all that. It was just on a short slider. That was a lot of fun.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
You for letting me sit in here. This is always a blast, Marty. I really look forward to this, and I appreciate you for letting me get some experience with you. All my teammates at Gambler, Roger for putting this on. Once again, you and RSN for putting on the broadcast tonight, because we all know it's charity week. So you doing it out of the goodness of your heart, and we all appreciate that. Jeff Barker, he's the man. Most people don't know Jeff who are watching, but Jeff is in on everything. He admins 3 or 4 nights a week, and he's awesome. Couldn't do it without him. And last but not least, Roger. We wouldn't be doing this awesome thing for the Steve King Foundation if it wasn't for him and putting together this dream he had years ago of an awesome online racing league. And that's exactly what it is. Good group of guys, and this charity and all the money we're raising for it proves it. We have a lot of fun racing, and I just really appreciate you, Roger.
Always benefits a lot. Alrighty, man. Congratulations. We'll keep you on in here, obviously. And we will bring in our second place finisher in Anthony Morano. Anthony, what more did you need for Isaac there tonight, especially at the end?
I think a few more green flag laps would have been a huge help there. I think once we got going there, I was a little bit faster than Isaac. I was able to reel him back in, and then the yellow flag would come out. And, he would beat me by a mile on the restarts, and I was like, and then reel him back in, then a caution come out. I'm like, come on.
That actually does lead to my next question. Did you feel like you had your car best set for the long run? I mean, obviously this is a fixed setup race, but did you feel like your car was really a lot better on the long run than Salas? Because, like you mentioned, you guys were side by side at one point, then the yellow flew.
I think, honestly, I've run a few more 100 and 150 lap races than Isaac, so I think I might be a little bit better with tire conservation than he is, and I think that was what was making a difference there. But I mean, Isaac's, he's always fast. It's hard to catch him, hard to pass him. I threw everything I could at him, but just not enough.
Absolutely. Who do you want to give shout-outs to on this run?
I got to thank my wife, Sherry, my teammates at Full Throttle Motorsports, Dean at Super Dirt Car, Logan at High Mom Lens, Swan Speed Shop, Samaconda Setups. I mean, it was pretty cool too having my dad out there tonight. I think he finished like 11th or something like that, so that's pretty cool. But and you for doing a broadcast, and everyone here at Coast to Coast.
Definitely appreciate the time. Congratulations, a great run tonight.
Thanks, Marty.
Alrighty, Anthony Morano finishing in second. Now we go to Extreme eSpeed TV Victory Lane to talk with your winner and Isaac Salas. Isaac, I know you were watching the broadcast, and I know I didn't pick you, but I didn't want to be a jinx to you. I did not want to be a jinx for you.
Thanks, Marty.
A win in a late model over one of the best to drive a late model in this series. How about it?
Yeah, big time. It's this season so far, I've had really good luck in late models, so the confidence was kind of there, and I mean, I kind of found a good line to run, so I got pretty lucky with that.
Did those yellow flags kind of help you out? As we were just talking with Anthony, and he felt like the cautions really hurt him, and it kind of felt like that he was a better driver in the long run than you were.
Big time. I think I honestly cooked my tires probably by lap 35 or so, for sure, because I know lap 40 and on I was on I was on a skating rink, and it got real slick for me.
Gotcha. Are you gonna be doing the ARCA race in just a bit?
Yes, sir, I will.
What are you expecting?
I don't know, man. You can't bump draft with these cars,
No,
so
you cannot.
We'll do it. Yeah, we'll do it.
I mean, Zach and I
You
are
get
gonna
in front
probably,
of me, I'll push you. All right. We'll
yeah,
make it
right into the wall. No, I think it'll be a good race, man. I did one with these cars a couple weeks ago now, but it was great racing, I thought. So I'm excited for it.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Yeah. Congrats to Mr. Morano and Zach over here coming up to third, huh? But thanks to man, it's good to see you up here. Thanks to Venom Racing, Dean the Super Dirt Car Series, Magnum Race Designs, Got Your Six Racing Network, RSN Trackside, Mission 22, Top Notch Trucking. Thanks to Slide Job Racing Network with you, Marty. I know you're broadcasting on that one too, so it's pretty exciting. And then just thanks to my friends, my family, and then thanks to my girlfriend for watching.
Alrighty, we'll let you go. Congratulations. Great win. Best luck in ARCA coming up.
Awesome. Thank you, brother.
Isaac Salas, your winner tonight in the Pro Late Models. Gets himself a little gator there. And before we go to the ARCA race, we will bring up the official results here. Salas, the winner. That's the B-main results. But we do know, obviously, Salas is your winner tonight. Second, Anthony Morano, Zach Chapman. Third, Jesse X. And fourth. Fifth, Stephen Gollner. Sixth, Sam Bachman. Seventh, Kyle Moon. And eighth, Dan McLaren. Trevor Giroux, ninth. Jeff Barker rounds out the top 10. As mentioned a couple moments ago, how about John Morano? From a bunch of wrecks tonight to finishing in 11th. Your biggest mover up 12 spots. Connor Ross finishing in 12th. 12 drivers finishing on the lead lap. And then here's a look at the rest of the field. A bunch of drivers, I'm guessing, already getting ready for Daytona. And that's what we're going to do right now. ARCA Series coming up next. Stay with us on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. it's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Kiss on the champion. Trying to be a bit of a hiatus, so let's get... Tonight we'll be talking about it.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
Welcome back to the Coast to Coast Racing Network, as we are moments away from getting going here with the next part of the program here. And that, of course, is Next Gens, or excuse me, the ARCA series at Daytona. I have some technical difficulties here real quick, so I'll try and get these all fixed up here before we get back going. All right, so we're having another issue going on with our broadcast here, so bear with us as we're going to try and fix this up once again. But just coming off another good one here tonight, as we look forward to the ARCA series here at Daytona. The ARCA cars are a lot of fun to watch, and I really do mean that. Because when you take the ARCA cards here, you know, they've got the wicker on the spoiler and the roof little spoiler as well. And it just really helps with the drag. You can have a lot of slingshotting take place. It is a whole lot of fun. You don't want to miss out on this, that's for sure.
You just got to behave here, Marty. That's
it.
That's the main thing, you know. As I was picking on Isaac that I was going to bump draft him. Obviously, that's a, you know, coming to the finish line, checkered flag, last ditch maneuver to get somebody to the front. Because in these things, you really, I mean, you got to be patient. We preach patience a lot in dirt, but those races happen so fast. This is, this is going to be 30, 40 minutes. So it's just a Sunday drive here for the first pit stop. Hopefully everybody has that mindset, and, then you go get them the last 5 or so laps, because anybody can win.
Absolutely, anybody can win indeed, so. But looking at times here at the moment, we don't have the graphics up on our screen as we are again having some technical difficulties as things stand. So we are working to get those fixed as soon as possible. But while we were at it, looking at everything coming on in, Gary Offut, your quickest driver, but anyone has a chance here. 25 drivers. If you're in this race, you've got a chance to win it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you don't want to make it harder on yourself, but it is a case of where, guys like Earnhardt have showed us over the years in NASCAR, you can be in 30th, Marty, with 10 laps to go, and as long as you pick and choose at the right time, you can be right up there when it matters, because if we're in a big pack at the end with 5 to go, I can almost guarantee you we're going to have a big one, so you just got to make sure you're in the right place, and you got to survive it.
Absolutely. Qualifying underway as things stand. And first driver you see on the racetrack is Gary Offut in car number 94. See the times here at the bottom of your screen. The big key here to qualifying here at Daytona, Zach, is very simple, and it really is. Keep going on the high side to build up the engine temp on lap number 1. Then when you get to the banking, move from high to low, and then get as low as possible on lap number 2. Of course, I know some drivers here, though, like to do it the opposite way. All depends on your preference, but normally on lap 2, if you're going from high to low on lap 1 to 2, you normally have the advantage.
Yeah, for sure. You want to drive around and just wind that motor up for the first lap. Make sure you're at full speed, and then second lap, really go get it. You don't want to pinch it down too much coming off of the corners. You want to let it float up, not lose speed, but do those corners. That second lap, if you're going for pole, you're definitely going to hug the bottom through the corners. But there are going to be some people that go with the strategy I use at super speedways as well, Marty, the unmentioned one, the don't qualify, because you think something bad's going to happen.
That's what I always do on NIS at Daytona during the 500. Always start from the back, stay as far as I can behind the lead pack, then if the big one happens, I can easily avoid it.
Amen.
So, do have a couple of drivers decide, you know what, we're going to go as low as possible, and it's Jack Clevenger that is currently your quickest driver at the moment with a nice lap, a 49.67 on lap number 1. I like the Haviline scheme he's got right now.
I'm sitting in the session, so I can't cheat and look at it. It won't let me look at other people's qualifying laps. But
gotcha.
You said Valvoline or Halvoline?
Haviline, that's right, not Valvoline.
Okay, I was hoping you said Valvoline, because growing up as a child in the early 90s, my favorite driver, Mark Martin, drove the Valvoline car, and oh man, I love seeing that paint job on the iRacing server.
Yeah. All right, coming to the line, quickest car, Brian Lawson when it comes to the purple range. See if we can pull him up as he's coming to the checkered flag to complete his lap. He's second quick at a 49.56. Neil Strauser goes 9th quick. Some other drivers coming to the checkered flag here. Barry Goldner in the 36, just making his way off at turn number 4. As he comes to the line. Second quick, 49.55, a great lap. Brady Floyd jumps to the top, 49.53. Quinn Gingrich goes second at a 49.54. A lot of drivers decide to use the apron to their advantage here. I like the strategy. 1 minute left here. Let's pull up how much time is left. Oh, actually, there's a lot of time, correction, in qualifying. Lap 1 from Steven Goldner going up on the board. He's 14th, 49.61. Jesse Exon with a 50.53. Here comes Kyle Moonen off for turn 4. So he went a 50.53. Let's ride on board here with the number 30. Reminds me too, we got to load up our car cams here in just a bit. Goldner's coming to the checkered flag. He's in the green, so this is of course a much better lap. Actually, it was slower on sector 2. He goes 5th quick, 49.55. Atkinson 6th at 49.56. Here comes Moonen off at turn number 4, not hugging that yellow line. Let's see where he comes to the checkered flag at. Quick time! 49.53. I don't know how it converts into the thousandths.
5.31 to a 5.34.
Wow, 3 thousandths of a second. And the Money King, Kyle Moonen, goes to the top of the charts.
Yeah, and Marty, this is totally your call, but Roger lets me do it with Joe. And it's charity week. I don't care if someone wrecks me. I give all the money back. I can sit in here and chat with you if you want me to, if you don't want to do this whole thing by yourself.
Oh, that'd be great. Absolutely. That would be great.
Yeah, honestly, if someone is listening and does wreck me, I would maybe appreciate it so I can just sit and watch this one because I'm a little tired.
I know you're not qualifying. I know you're not qualifying. I don't believe GJ is qualifying, so I think we can put a wrap up here on qualifying.
Yeah, Greg and I both have the checkered flag, so we both clicked it. We're done.
And yep, qualifying is officially finished. With that being said, it's now time to meet our field. Set to go racing. Let's meet the field in the RSN Trackside starting lineup. On the pole, the Money King, Kyle Moonen in the 10. Next to him, it's Brady Floyd in car 53. Row number 2, Gwen Gingrich in the 117. Next to Dan McLaren in the 88. Row number 3, Barry Goldner in the 36, and he's next to Steven Goldner in car number 30. Row 4, Jesse X in the Pink Panther in the 127. Next to Steven Goldner in car number 30. Rounded out the top 10 this evening, Brian Lawson. Greg Parmalee, correction, in the 4, and Matt Moreau in the 38. Row number 6, it's Steve-O, Donovan Ross, next to Sly Job, Isaac Salas in the 5. Row 7, Jack Clevenger in the 78, and Keith Jackson in the 13. Row number 8, Gary Sigelkow in the 25, next to him, Mark Gilbert in the 017. Row number 8, the astronaut Neil Strauser in the 68, next to Colin Johnston in the 13. Row number 10, Gary Offutt in the 94, and Jim Bowie in the 058. Row 11, the mayor Steve Bixler in the 75, next to the Bassman Roger Craig in the 747. Row 12, he's driving an asphalt car? This is something I did not expect. Dean Reynolds is going to take his hand at Super Speedway Race in the 79. Next to Shaggy Zach Chapman in the 72, and rounding out the field, G.J. Boydell in the 014.
Does Greg have an autism paint on that car? I really like that car.
That is an old paint scheme that Dale Earnhardt drove, and I want to say the Daytona 500 in 2000. I think it was like...
Oh, okay. I know which one you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Yep.
So... But everyone's going to grid here. No, except for Matt Moreau. I'm going to assume that he is taking the green flag from the pits. So he'll play it safe than sorry. And as the field... Go ahead.
What's your favorite paint job in all of NASCAR, Marty, that's in the history of NASCAR? Yeah, if you could pick one paint job on your car, what would you do?
That is a good question. My favorite paint job in NASCAR. Dang. I'm going to have to think about it. I
loved the Dale Earnhardt, though it was plain, the red Coca-Cola one with the polar bear on the
hood. That he drove in Japan?
My favorite. Yes, that was my favorite car as a kid, and my dad bought me the die-cast. I still have it in my closet to this day.
Nice, nice. I'll have to think about it. I'll get back to you on that. Anyway, here's your race info, the race summary coming on in. 50-lap race, 125 miles. Fuel limit's at 60%, so we are guesstimating around 28 laps. So 1 pit stop guaranteed, likely 2 in case we have overtime. And, of course, 1 quick repair all the drivers have. Zach, who's your pick to win tonight?
Oh, man. Probably Isaac. He's been on a roll, and he knows how to position himself and be there at the right time as long as he can survive the big one here early, because I imagine we'll have one. I think he's got to be the favorite tonight.
This Vanderbilt team is going to team up really well. I'm going to go with Steven Goldner for the win tonight. I'm liking some of these schemes out here. Some schemes that look like ARCA schemes, like Kyle Moonen, for example, and a bunch of other cars out there too. Jim Bowie, the 058, has a car that looks like ARCA. Same with Roger Craig, and same with Zach Chapman as well. And these ARCA drivers always, got to go out there and support them. Give them some sponsorship so they can live their dream. The field makes their way off for turn number 4. Coming to the start line at the World Center of Racing. Pace car is in. Where else would you rather be than right here, right now, from coast to coast? It's showtime at the World Center of Racing. Field making their way down the back chute. You see one driver decide to duck out of it. That's Dan McLaren, to be safe than sorry. You see Gingrich take the lead early here over Brady Floyd and Kyle Moonen. The field makes their way off for turn number 4. Who's going to lead lap 1 at Daytona in this 50-lap race? Give it to Gingrich in the 117. Big Mac Henson fan, I will assume. See how the pack all 2 by 2. A lot of drivers, though, playing it safe. Some drivers have decided to back out right here in the back, like Jack Clevenger, Gary Singlecow, Dan McLaren, amongst others.
Yeah, as being the driver here in the back, I don't mind it so much. I would have liked to seen the beginning of the back of the field, if that makes sense, maintain the draft. I don't really like being this far back, but, it kind of is what it is. The guys up front are showing a little patience. You're seeing them back out. So I would try to stay within that second draft, but everybody's going to do their own thing here.
Yeah, you will have some races that will go caution-free too at times. So, as we work on.
Yeah, I think the one challenge people are going to have here, if they did in practice, the brakes are so much different. You really need to. You don't want to lose time in the pits. That's where you're going to see guys mess up. You don't want to lock up going in the pits, and you don't want to speed. So you're going to see guys be under-aggressive and some guys be too aggressive.
Important key here is as well as you ride on board Brady Floyd from the right front fender in the suspension. Important key as well, Isaac mentioned it earlier, you cannot bump draft with these cars one bit, even if it's on a straightaway. The way with the front bumpers are set. You bump draft, you're lifting the rear wheels up, and you're taking somebody around.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Just it's so much downforce in the front of that nose that you just get under the rear bumper that, nothing to really push with. You just go under them and lift those tires up.
An important key too here with these ARCA cars, very easy to slingshot and very easy to side draft. It's 2x2 racing right now, and I know we're a long ways out from the home stretch of this, but is the racing going to get intense? Will we see drivers go 3 wide?
There's no chance we don't on that last lap, Marty. I'd be shocked if it's not 4 wide for some spots crossing the finish line unless we're so thinned out by then. But if this keeps going this way, I imagine some pit stops will tighten us up a little bit. The guys up front who are real good at pitting, that's where they'll get to pull away a little bit, and that's what I say scares me about leaving a big gap back here. But I don't think this thing will go caution-free as much as I'd like it to, but hopefully I eat my words on that.
We do, though, have 2 packs, as you mentioned. I can show you here. The second pack is currently being led by Dean Reynolds. The back is Steve Bixler. And now, the important thing about pack racing and iRacing here, and Zach, you may want to communicate this to the radio. If you're a single file, you have the tendency to go a little bit faster compared to drivers that are pack racing. We've seen that happen in some races before that we've broadcasted on Slide Job Racing Network where 2 packs are able to merge together after a big gap.
Yeah, I think we're going to see that now. Right as I say that, Dean goes back high. Dean wasn't really getting much help on the bottom here from, I think it's Gary in front of me. He's not really close to him, so Dean was kind of, doing all that by himself on the bottom. And if you want to do what you said, catch him in the single line drive.
Oh, hang on. They're going to wreck Barry Goldner, sends Gingrich around, and we're one, a bunch of them. 1 car up in the air, 2 of them in the air. Barry Goldner almost went upside down. Our first yellow flag is out.
I'll tell you what, me hearing you gave everybody else a warning, I think, because I hit the brakes when I heard you go, oh, and everybody back here started to slow down behind me, so that worked out.
Barry Goldner took a wild ride. Luckily, wheels down on the 36 and a couple of paint scuffs. Remember, this was the first ever car to use the new damage model, and it is beautiful on the ARCA cars, so... Quinn Gingrich, though, also involved, the leader coming off at turn number 2. And we'll gather a replay up here in just a moment. We're going to ride off from an aerial shot first here. See what this can provide us. I'm going to rewind the footage here and see what this gives us. Off of turn number 2, I think, just too much of a side draft by Gingrich into Moonen. And that washed him with the hill. I thought they were all going to save it here first. And then Lawson clips the 36. That hole just closed simply. I don't think he meant to go 3 wide. And then that sent him around off the bumper of Brady Floyd. Isaac Salas captures a small piece. Nice miss by the 13. That's the hit by Gary Sigelkow that put the 36 nearly on its noggin. Dan McLaren also involved. He was one of the drivers that decided to back out of the pack to try and miss it. A couple of drivers on pit road. We'll focus on that in just a moment. But let's get you a shot in real time. Man, Barry Goldner's car, the roof flaps didn't even engage while in the air. Nearly did a blowover. And let's see here. I don't think a static shot will really work too well for us, but let's see what this will give us. Oh, this may be a good one. Woo! That's what it looks like to have a car go up in the air from that perspective. We'll watch the onboards in just a moment, but a lot of cars all on pit road. A lot of them all topping off on fuel. And remember the fuel run, 28 laps that we are expecting. So we would expect drivers coming in with just under 15 laps to go if you pitted on lap number 7 here. Yeah,
some of those guys, I'm kind of shocked, Marty. Some of those guys must have taken tires because I came in there in 24th and gas only, 3-4 second pit stop. And I'm going to come out in the top 10 here. So I'm a little shocked to see guys take tires.
Well, luckily, unlimited quick repairs unlimited tires.
No, two new sets of tires is all we have. We have 3 for the race.
They changed them up.
So they only have 1 left. That's what I mean. I mean, you don't want to. That had to be accidental for a lot of them because, God forbid, so. If you get spun out twice, you have 2 quick repairs to save your butt and then an extra set of tires if you scarred it. I mean, I would not have wanted to take a set of tires this early.
Some people have forgotten to turn it off and pass. On board with Gingrich. see who else we got for an onboard. I want to watch. See what Keith Jackson can show us from this perspective. We have to update the car cameras here, so you're gonna have to bear with us. All right, we got it working perfectly. All right, let's try that again with Keith Jackson. Trying to avoid as he goes off track, does a little lawn mowing. Oh, Barry Gollner. Watch this ride he takes. Look at that. Up in the air he went. Like I said, car nearly doing a blowover. Let's, I want to check Brian Lawson's onboard. Where's the contact off for Isaac Salas that sent him spinning? That's a great angle. You see him hanging on for dear life. So we're working the first yellow here on lap number 9, and we're going to come back to green this time by. Coming back to green with a pair of Vanderbilt drivers on the front row that stayed out. In fact, we had 3 drivers that stayed out on that yellow, and Kyle Moonen, Stephen Gollner, and Mark Gilbert. Not bad of a strategy I think they're running here.
Yeah, it all depends. They'd kind of, I think, need one more caution at least to guarantee it being a 2-stop for them. I think the guys who pit here, we can guarantee a 2-stop if it would go long run green, but it's going to be close.
Well, let's do this once again as we come back to the green flag. Barney's got the flag in the air. Here we go. Moonen with the advantage. Now, I'm surprised Moonen didn't let Stephen Gollner go, considering they are teammates trying to work together. That's been a big key for Vanderbilt Racing at the Super Speedways that we have seen in years past is working together. We're all 2 by 2. Not a lot of drivers merging out just yet. You see, of course, without question, Highline always the place to have the advantage when you're on the straights at Daytona. Corners, the low line's the place to be. And you see a couple line changes. Risky one from, I think that was Colin Johnson, the 13 it was. But look at how this pack is spread apart big time. Of course, it takes about a full lap to get the drivers all up to speed here. Right? Very surprised that they're all spread out like that. So you're on board with Jesse Atkinson. Now you see Gollner out in front of Moonen, and now the pair will work together. There is a huge gap, too, between Roger Craig and Brian Lawson. I think some more drivers assigned to play it safe here. But that may be just me. Not too sure, Zach.
No, yeah, I think you're right. But like I say, it goes back to, I mean, it wasn't as many guys broke off as there was the first time as there's this time. It looks like they're almost within draft ahead of me. But, you know, if we split up half and half, you know, that really cuts down the chances on a big one. So as much as you're trying to be conservative, you know, there is such thing as too conservative. You got to make sure you're within, you know, a second and a half in case something happens.
And now we're seeing for the first time tonight 3 wide for the runner-up spot. Of course, for the ARCA cars, very easy to go 3 wide here compared to other cars. But it could be risky right now. We got loose and 1 around. I think that's Parmalee in the 4. Up in the air again, it's Gingrich. No caution flag as the spin happened below the infield. As that was Brady Floyd that went around. And it's crawling like a snail. How that was not a caution though, Zach, I do not know.
Yeah, it's just one of those iRacing bugs, you know. Most people know as well as I do that if there's pretty much any smoke on asphalt, there's a caution. So I'm pretty shocked that there wasn't a caution there.
Take a look at the spin there by Floyd. Don't know who was the 4 car that had that wild moment. We'll go back to live coverage. You saw another instant there that we missed with G.J. Boydell.
Yeah, some cars were slow coming out of turn 4. I'm not too sure what happened, but somebody was in the wall hard. I think that was Greg.
And they were just about stopped, and no caution flag came out there either. I think that may have been Brian Lawson, possibly. I'm going to try and get another angle of that here, too. Lawson was really off the pace, and I think he just pulled it off the track.
It's a shame he didn't pull it on the track. A caution would have been nice after that. I don't think anybody would have been mad about
as
it.
This field has really stacked up with the lack of cautions that we saw here. This is a 9-car pack all racing for the lead, and 5 seconds back is our second pack, not even racing together. It's Donovan Ross, Keith Jackson, Gary Sigelkow, and Quinn Gingrich. Now, because of this too, and I think we just had trouble with Jesse Exon. He just spun on the apron. And again, no caution. Man, iRacing, again, these are not admin controlled cautions. This is iRacing controlled yellows. iRacing is really letting them race here, Zach, which I'm surprised about.
Yeah, you know, it was shocking with the cautions in the heats the last time. Well, I guess that was intentional, and it made sense when Roger explained why. But now we're shocked at the lack of cautions. I'm definitely a little surprised because, you know, even if an admin would throw it, because it's not going to be much of a race here if I hate to say it, if a wreck doesn't happen and tighten up the field, because this really limited what can happen.
I hate to say this too, but right now this is turned from a Speedweeks race to a Carb Cup race.
Yeah, yeah, you're not kidding, and those races can get wild, as we all know.
Absolutely. The gaps will show you here on your screen. It's McLaren, Stephen Goldner, Isaac Salas, Kyle Moonen, Mark Gilbert, all the drivers racing for the lead. Colin Johnston, Roger Craig headed back out after seeing Jesse Atkinson get sideways. Matt Moreau is backed out of the race that's going on for 8th. Same with Quinn Gingrich, who has been up in the air twice, and somehow that car is still going straight with front end damage. Jack Clevenger and Neil Strauser also up there. Barry Goldner, that was still checking on the floor. That was Parmalee that did go around in the number 4 car. Dean Reynolds back out here in 16th with some notable left front damage. A lot of drivers are really right now preaching for a yellow so they can all get on pit road and use a quick repair. In fact, at this rate, and I want to pull up the track map here. You see the front 5, they know that, you know, they got nothing to lose right now. If they stay like this and we go caution-free to the end, they'll be the only 5 racing for the win. And you see how all the drivers are mapped around on the track. At this rate, Zach, we could be seeing lap traffic in this race on a super speedway.
Oh, I mean, if this keeps up the way it is, you know, I don't have any help out here. I'm 100% going to be lapped in probably like 20 or 25 laps because.
We got one off track. It's Donovan Ross.
And
I
looks
think
like he's
he had
rolling
just
again.
got sideways.
Another no caution.
He had actually already gone off the racetrack. I don't know if. Let's rewind the tape here and see. Something had happened in turn 1 that we had missed. And this was the second pack. He had got hooked by Gary Sigelkow. That's what caused everything there, and now he has gone a lap down, and meanwhile, this has turned into a race of drafting. I think if you're everyone right now except for the top 5, you want a caution. And the thing is, you're not going to be the one that's going to draw the caution flag. That's the thing. So it will be tough to see some racing happen on the track. If we do see a pass, we will note it. As I am able to keep track of who passes who on the racetrack. But right now it's Steven Golden, Kyle Moon out in front. This is the perfect scenario for them. Them all being single file, they can work together, and then they can try and make sure that they're the ones that are going to finish 1-2 at the end here, Zach.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, that's got to be their move. As frustrating as that is to, us guys in the back. That's the smart play for them. Just line up, relax, and not worry about it, until there's 5 to go. Make sure they don't bring out a caution to tighten the field up.
But now here's the other issue, though. We've got 3 Venom teammates. So the Vanderbilt guys are short-handed today. That's McLaren, Salas, 17 at Gilbert. Just had a change of position. Brady Floyd working with teammate Jesse Atkinson. Just passing both.
Yeah, finally got some drafting help here.
Maybe
we can put a dent in these guys.
That's a 5-car pack, all 30 seconds behind the leader, as they said. What are you thinking of right now, Zach, when you see that bumper in front of you?
I wish me and Brady were friends, so he'd be okay with me putting it to him and bringing a caution out. But it is what it is, just kind of lining up. Hopefully they pitted when I did under caution. So, if not, I'm dedicated to pit with them. Can't lose my drafting buddies. So that's all it is for me right now. Just ride and hope something happens.
I was thinking of something else, but I'm actually not going to ask you the other part of it, because now I just realized what it is. But Neil Strauser now falling in line with another 5-car train. That says Donovan Ross, who is a couple laps down, with Jack Clevenger, Quinn Gingrich, and Neil Strauser. And I believe there's another car, too. Clevenger, Palmer Lee in the 4 also up here. Palmer Lee right now racing. He is in the free pass spot at the moment. This is 15 seconds back on the leaders. Pull the track map up. Leaders are just about to cross the start-finish line, and they are approaching some lap traffic right now in Dean Reynolds is. Let's go on board for a lap here with Kyle Moonen. See the top speed over 190 miles an hour into the corner. Everyone hugging the double yellow line right now, Zach. Nobody wants to go up top, and obviously we know why. Plus, also it's ARCA. The low line's always the dominant group.
Yeah, without being able to put that bumper to somebody, you get the right guy side drafting, you can get it done, but it's a lot harder than it is in something where when you get a big run off the top, you just give that guy a shove and really help him out. It's definitely not as easy as in the trucks or the cup cars, for example.
Would you like to see the new ARCA car in iRacing? I know we have the Gen 6 car, but to have the ARCA car with his exact modifications and setup, I think would be a fun drafting challenge.
Yeah, and I think a little more skill would be involved. Because don't get me wrong, you slingshot in these, you do get good runs, but the way they do it in the new car, it's totally different. You really got to work that air bubble.
It's all about the side draft.
Yeah, it really is. It's all about just, taking the air off the person's side, getting as close as you can, and, taking the air off yours at the same time so you can get a little more speed out of it.
Need some more passing going here. Let's look. Double file racing. This is the pack to watch right now. Donovan Ross, Jack Clevenger, teammates working together. Helping out Clevenger get the 8th position. Also working with Greg Parmalee, too. Pete Jackson, Matt Moreau, both fading back just a little bit. We do want to give a big kudos to Donovan Ross. 2 weeks ago, we had Monday Night Madness, Renegades at Lincoln. First career win for Devo and the Renegades. And that was a dogfight to beat the Bandy Boat guys and win his first ever Renegades race. Congratulations to him on that.
Hearing pit stops are coming, Marty.
Yeah, Colin Johnston and Roger Craig all making their first stops. Actually, nope, this is their second stop with 25 to go. They're with the fuel window open, just the only thing they're just pleading for is no overtime. And I don't think you really want to be pitting early here because it's easy to go a lap down when you're pitting. And if a yellow flag comes out in this middle of this cycle, you're pretty much in danger of losing this race.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. I mean, you're most likely going to go a lap down. If not, it's going to be really close, and they're going to catch it full steam. And what are you going to do? Block the leaders? But
tire
you got me excited.
Kyle Moonen, Stephen Golner on pit road, and Moonen locked the brakes. We're going to watch this closely. Is this going to be a longer stop for a penalty? This is where he may have to take tires. He just took his quick repair. We did see some right side damage on the temp, but we're going to watch this stop closely off the pole sitter. And nope, he did not get penalized. It's a gas and go stop for Kyle Moonen. See, those are the only 4 drivers that we have seen pit. And most likely they are going to merge in front of Craig and Johnston. That is the case, and Zach just saw go by. And we've got Neil Strouser coming in, and this is the big disadvantage because he is Mr. Lonely on pit road, and Zach mentioned it earlier. You do not want to be the low man out or else you'll lose speed. Quinn Gingrich just made his way on pit road, but a huge gap behind. So Strouser may, I don't know if you want to wait if you're Neil Strouser here or not.
If he's by himself, or you can't. You almost want to at least be in a 3-car pack. Even 2's, really tough. That third and second guy are very important in the draft. To get up as close as they can without pushing. So you don't want to hurt yourself. Not if you're up there.
Venom drivers all on pit road, and McLaren, Salas, and Gilbert. Salas, oh my. Long stops and huge gaps for everyone on the Venom side. It's gonna take them a while to get bunched up together once again, unless, Salas slows up immediately. So this is now the lead pack temporarily. Jack Clevenger, Keith Jackson challenging for the lead, but as well as Matt Moreau. But things with Jackson, he is stuck right now. Drivers in front of him side by side. That's a lap car in front of him, and Colin Johnston. Ooh, this could get tight 3 wide. Parmalee and Strouser, they make contact. And they save it, and now the caution comes out.
Oh, thank God.
Thank goodness for a yellow. I believe this is the yellow for the 2 drivers here. Let's watch that again from an aerial shot. See, they just simply got together. I don't think, though, this was the caution, though. Everybody kept it straight. We're going to look at something else here. Where and what and who. Ah, this is the caution flag right here. Didn't see this. Isaac Salas. Low and, just got net coated. Net coated by Sigelcow. 360 is what brings out the yellow flag. Well, watch it on board here now. Who does this help and hurt?
I'm not sure if anybody actually got trapped the lap down, because I know those guys were just getting gas. They had that big of a lead on us that, you know, you saw they were just pulling out on the track as we were coming by. So that may have been one. I mean, obviously it hurt Isaac, but it, you know, it may have benefited almost everyone else except those, you know, front 3 or 4 that didn't want this.
I think if you're Salas, Moonen, and Gollner, because you just pitted, you'll get the benefit of this. You'll be in the lead.
Isaac's going to have to pit again with that damage, I think. I think he was in the
so
wall.
too. So we should see Moonen and Gollner back out front, so the field should finally cycle through. Let's just make sure. And yes, they will be the leaders. Unless... Let's wait and see here. Yep, we're going to have Moonen and Gollner as the leaders for them staying out. Everybody else coming in to top off on fuel. I like this call for them to top off on fuel for everyone else if you already pitted in case there's overtime, because super speedway racing has been known for overtimes.
Yeah, you're exactly right, especially with that caution with 20 to go. It's, you know what they say, Marty, cautions breed caution. So I came in here, I got 4 brand new tires, and hopefully it'll handle good, and we'll whip her away to the front.
Alrighty, so I think this situation is because Jackson and Clevenger, because they merged out, they just pitted, by the way, because they beat the line and were in front of Moonen and Gollner, they will be the leaders. That is huge. Let's show you a replay to confirm this. I'm going to put this in slow motion and put this on a pit road cam. You guys will understand clearly when I show you guys this. Let's find the left pits on Keith Jackson. We're finding it, guys. Don't worry. So your top 2, they just exited pit road, and I don't know if this camera shot can show you the justice of it. This will. Yes, it will. You see, they're both merged out in front. And then here comes Bowie. Now, he's a lap car, and so, yeah. That tells you the tale right there, guys. That's a big stop, a big win for Jackson and Clevenger. We come back to this green flag. While we're at it, let's check in with some people. Jason Butterfield, Joe Canellis and Butters also checking in. Canellis saying again, you don't have to worry about the big win at the start if you start on the pole. Indeed. Butterfield, of course, rooting for Venom. Their highest driver is Salas in 6th, so even with that spin and a quick repair, Salas will restart outside row 3. So it's Jackson and Clevenger, row number 1. Moonen and Gollner, row number 2. Jackson and Clevenger, keep in mind, Sim Racing Concept teammates. Mooner and Gollner, Bandybuild teammates. Barry Gollner outside row 3, working with row 2. Matt Moreau by himself on the inside of row 3. Row number 4, Isaac Salas, Jesse X in row 5. Salas' teammate, and Dan McLaren to the outside. Also part of Venom and Mark Gilbert. So as we come back to green, we are going to shut up, and you are going to turn up your volume. Why? Because we're going to crank it up here when we come back to the green here at Daytona. Can you believe this? 3x3 for the lead at Daytona with 15 laps to go. We expected it tonight in ARCA. That ain't a surprise, and Kyle Moonen hanging on over Keith Jackson, Vanderbilt up top. Sim Racing Concepts at the bottom. In fact, SRC bottom, Vanderbilt middle, and Venom on the top shelf. The racing has risen from the dead. Business is about to pick up. That advantage to the high side working out really well. You see a lot of drivers getting squirrely in the back of that lead pack, and Keith Jackson, Jack Clevenger with the advantage, but how about as well the teammates and Brady Floyd and Jesse Atkinson? Floyd to third. Oh, look out. There goes Moonen. Contact with Atkinson. Chapman up in the air. Yellow lights are on. And luckily, that was a 3-car wreck in the infield, because that could have been a disaster.
Yeah, man, I definitely had a great view of that. It seemed like...
Oh, we had to have more action after that. I'm sorry, Zach. Greg Parmalee
you're
and
fine.
Steve Bixler both off the track at the yellow flag. So let's get a shot of what happened here to cause this yellow flag. Watch Moonen. Yeah, Atkinson just hooked him. And yeah, Zach Chapman would know where to go. How about Matt Moreau just kissing Zach Chapman there with a little PDA? And look at Moonen going backwards. That was nearly a disaster waiting to happen. Gonna watch in real time off of the Money King. Coming up on two wheels. Did Moonen rear end the wall or anything like that? Yes, he did. That's a pretty good lick. And he had already used his quick repair too. Let's go on board with Jesse Atkinson. Kyle Moonen. Let's rewind the footage here. Right there, should have kept the steering wheel straight. Then we had something else happen. Watch Greg Parmalee and Steve Bixler. Oh, another wreck happened. Let's rewind this. This was, caution flag had already come out. And Bixler just rear ends Parmalee. ARCA brakes for the first time tonight here at Daytona. All right, folks, let's see here. 12 laps to go. Lights are still on. While we are at it, we are going to step aside and thank some people. When we come back, we're taking you to the finish. Stay with us at Daytona. 1 lap to green. You're looking live at Keith Jackson in the 113. He's restarting as the leader. When you look from this angle, look at the field that he's trying to chase him down. 19 drivers on the lead lap, and when we come back to the green, it's a 10-lap shootout to determine who wins it. Our third caution of the race at Daytona. Keith Jackson, Jack Clevenger, row number 1. Brady Floyd, Isaac Salas, row number 2. Dan McLaren and Stephen Gollner, row 3. Mark Gilbert, Matt Moreau, row 4. Quinn Gingrich, the man that's had the most airtime literally tonight, next to Barry Gollner. Round out the top 10. Your biggest mover of the race right now, G.J. Boydell, started last. He's running in the 11th spot. Then you have Keith Jackson up 13. Jack Clevenger up 11. Some drivers that have started from the back of the field and played it conservatively. They are restarting at the front of the field, and it's coming at the right time. Zach, final thoughts before we go green.
Oh, man, I hope we stay green here these last 10 laps. We were going 3 wide. It was getting real racy, real fun. It's hard to be in the middle, as you saw me, and get a little loose there. Brought that caution out coming down. You know, you get side draft going off both sides. But, man, it's going to be a shootout here.
Final paints, my favorite paint scheme, by the way, the Jimmy Johnson throwback to Petty and Earnhardt.
Oh, good one.
10 to go. We're back to green. Jackson trying to work with Clevenger up top. Surprised does not see Jackson select the outside. And go down the bottom. This could open up an opportunity for the 53 of Floyd. And that high side really getting swirly. And Clevenger gave the 13 a bump draft. This is going to help out Brady Floyd here. Go for the race lead with a pair of Kenseth cars behind him. And Mark Gilbert and Quinn Gingrich. And now the third group tries to get creative with Dan McLaren and Isaac Salas separated from their teammate and Mark Gilbert, who's got the Smirnoff Ice colors. Nine laps remaining at the World Center of Racing, and anyone in this pack that's on the lead lap has a chance to win it. The cream is rising to the top. McLaren's got the high side working with a push from Salas and Gollner. That's Stephen Gollner to be specific. Lowline had some momentum off of turn number 2. Big push from Clevenger coming to Keith Jackson. Salas in the wall. Had a bump coming from McLaren. Around goes Barry Gollner. Coretta. Oh, they're stacking up in the back. And no caution, I don't believe. And it may come here. Yes, it will. Around is the 17 of Gilbert. Salas is sideways. Oh, big contact up in the air like a boomerang. Went Gilbert. Keith Jackson still remains the leader. It took 2 wrecks to have a yellow this time.
Yeah, not too sure on the first one if Barry maybe got into the wall a little bit or if he just checked up, but I lifted up his rear tires. That was the first one. I saw a little cloud of smoke, so I'm not sure what happened in front of me, but it happened real quick.
We're going to rewind this and show you, and we're going to pull up our telestrator here to show you what to look at, too. Bear with us. We lost our telestrator for a moment. I don't know where it went. I think we may have lost it. Let's check here. Interact. Don't worry. We got time. Daytona's a long lap. You see here, watch the mellow yellow 5 in Salas. He gave McLaren a bump draft. That set the 88 squirrely. And then watch the second Vanderbilt car, the 36 of Barry Gollner, in front of Zach Chapman in the 72. He checked up in case they were going to wreck. That's what happened. And it sent him down into Ross Corrina and Matt Moreau. And then further back, Jesse Atkinson checked up just in case. And then Dean Reynolds catches the back of him. And then another accident broke out. I'm going to see if I can shift forward. Brady Floyd and Gilbert make contact. And did they just lean on another in turns 3 and 4? Oh, Gilbert hit his team. I think, yeah, everyone was just trying to save it at this point in time. But then Salas bumps his teammate. Nice miss from Brady Floyd and Gingrich. Steven Gollner catches that. Then Salas gets loose. I don't know if he saved it or not. Don't believe he did. And that's watch the impact by Gollner. Hit by Ross and then T-bone by Bixler. That sent the 17 for a very wild ride. Let's watch a couple of onboards here. Why don't we? So it's going to take some laps off the board here, like I mentioned. First onboard, Matt Moreau. Now, we want real time. We want real time, guys. Luckily for him, he was able to save it, and then chaos. And watch this. Look at that ride Gilbert takes. Burrow's just still trying to... Oh, he caught up late in there from Ross, I believe. That's a tough break there. Now we watch some more onboards. Barry Gollner had already spun out. Let's catch an onboard with Ross. He is trying to dodge everything. It's a big hit in the safer barrier and another collision. That was the clip of Moreau that I just mentioned. See, what can Boydell show us here? Who's already wrecking. Yeah. The big one has finally broken out at Daytona. And now what was a 10-lap shootout has turned into a 5-lap shootout.
Which has a good chance of turning into a green-white checkered, Marty.
That it does. That it does. All right, see, now we got our telestrator working. There's our pace car. Jackson and Clevenger will bring us back to the green flag. Floyd and McLaren make up row number 2. Gingrich and Neil Strauser row 3. Roger Craig, Gary Offit row 4. And around at the top 10, Gary Sigelkow and I believe Zach Chapman. Some things to keep an eye out here when we come back to this green flag is I would look closely at Gary Alpha. If he slows this pack up.
Yep.
Because if you look closely, we'll get a better angle of it here.
Go in my own board, Marty. I've been worrying about it for the last minute driving around. I'm right behind him.
And you can see it right there, all those scuffs right there. A completely damaged rear end.
Yeah, as much as, you know, you want to be smart, I really got to get by him as quick as I can. So look for me to throw it 3 wide pretty early.
5 to go. 17 drivers on the lead lap. Free pass car, by the way, that last time by, I believe, may have been Barry Gollner or Jesse Exon. I'm not too sure, though. Good jump from Jackson. Lets Clevenger fall into line, and you see a lot of the field that was involved in the wreck all stacking up. This could turn to single file next time by. And McLaren, it's Mr. Lowly on the outside trying to side draft. I don't know if he'll get the help. Now he does. Brady Floyd moves up, and same with Quinn Gingrich. If you want to win, go to the outside.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you're not going to get anything done on the bottom. You got to go up there and try to make something happen.
Everyone 2 by 2 amongst the front 8, front 9. Oh, trouble! Jackson, McLaren, and more Floyd up into Strouser and collects the Vanderbilt car. Leaders taking each other out.
They're still wrecking. They're still
oh my
wrecking at the finish line.
This is ARCA brakes at its finest. We're going to overtime most likely. They just would not stop wrecking one bit. And the heartbreak in this one, the man that is leaking all the fluid. Keith Jackson in the 113, who had a spectacular day. And it's all gone south. Here's the replay. Did McLaren just try to side drive too much? Yep, he hooked Jackson, and a big lick for Jackson, almost upside down. Nice miss there from Zach, and then you see Strouser catches Floyd, then catches Steven Gollner. And then this is where they kept wrecking. The Gollners tried to merge into one, which, you know, obviously won't work.
Yeah, Steven would have had to go back in time like 30 or 40 years to do that.
You know where I was going with that. Oh, boy. I hope we don't get sued. Let's go on board with Keith Jackson. And we want to watch. Oh, that's a big lick there. Let's watch from the rear end. And let me tell you something. That deck lid going up in the air. Because the roof flap, I don't know if the roof flap worked, but that deck lid kept the four wheels off the ground. And that's great to see that lift up with the tethers breaking off. Let's watch another angle of that impact. One more shot, maybe a speed shot can show us. Woo! That just shows you how quick that impact was, or how fast the impact was. Carnage in the ARCA series at Daytona. Stuff kind of bringing us back to 2005 all over again. If you remember that race, that was a chaotic race before the Busch Clash that night.
I've been to Daytona once. It was the Pepsi 400, and it was probably the worst race in NASCAR history. It had like a 4-hour rain delay, and Tony Stewart led 196 of 200 laps.
2009, that race. I love how you remember how many laps he led at a 160.
Yeah, you're right. 156. Yeah, 156 out of 160 because it's not the 200. You're right. But it was nuts. And like I say, I'm a Mark Martin fan, and
he wrecked the first yellow.
I was sitting. Yep, I was sitting, like where the pace car is on the track, probably about 3 sections in, coming out of turn 4, and he wrecked right in front of me, nailed the wall.
Let's see here. The worst NASCAR race I've ever been to, the 2015 race at Michigan where they increased the spoiler for the drag package. Kenseth won that race. Johnson wrecked. But I did get a fun souvenir that day because I had garage passes. Post-race, I actually got a race-worn Dale Jr. Windows 10 hat that he autographed.
Oh, wow. That's incredible.
Yes. That was pretty cool. Back when I was a kid. So, still have it hanging up. I have never worn that hat either.
I have one Dale Jr. auto, and it was when he drove the AC Delco car in the Busch Series. I used to go to Nazareth when I was a little kid when they still raced there.
Okay.
And I got his autograph at Nazareth when I was a little kid.
I would have loved to go to that track. I've raced on it back in the EA Sports games. Gosh, I would have loved to go to that track. That seemed like
it was such
track.
A nice track, man. And
a unique track, too.
Yeah, it really was.
It was like a weird mini Pocono.
Yep. Yeah, that's the best way to describe it. Like, I loved the way they had the finish line set up, that tri-oval type thing. It was really neat.
Alrighty. First of 2 attempts at overtime after our 5th caution of the race. If we get a yellow before the white flag, we will try it one more time. Again, up to 2 attempts If you get a yellow on the second before the white flag, this race will end under caution.
Look who's in third place, Marty.
Roger Craig. Look who's in fourth place.
Who is in fourth? Oh, Barry.
Gary Sigelkow.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
look
yeah,
who's
Gary.
in fifth.
Gary. Yeah.
Look who's in fifth. GJ Boydell. Look who's in sixth. Barry Gollner. Salty Dogs, or I should say retreads. Let me say retreads instead. Have a chance to shock the world tonight in the ARCA series at Daytona. Jack
They really
Clevenger
do.
has Quinn Gingrich next to him. A green-white checkered, 18 drivers on the lead lap have a shot at a win at the World Center of Racing. Who's it going to be? How's it going to be done? First attempt at overtime. Let's go. Remember this time, Clevenger has no teammates to work with. Relied on Jackson all night long. If he wants to win, he's going to have to do it himself. He's going to have to do a lot of mirror drive to get it done. 3 wide further back as Barry Gollner is off the pace. Ooh, that's tight between Chapman and Sigelkow for a moment. And now they rock Boydell. Keeps it straight. Clevenger rocks. Roger Craig goes to the point. The yellow comes out. What the hell just happened?
Yeah, not too sure. I was up in the wall there. You got to let me know what happened.
The Bassman leads and Sigelkow is second. I was hoping that was going to stay green. I'm not kidding. I wanted to see that stay green. Alrighty, let's take a look. I'll start it with GJ Boydell in the 014, and we will put this in slow motion for you. Hey, we're all stacking up further back. We got to watch this. We got to rewind the tape here again. We're racing for third, or rather fourth. And yeah, Gilbert, I think, just hooked Boydell. They came up into Sigelkow and Chapman. Nice save for Sigelkow. And then the wrecking all happens. Let's see, where does it begin? You saw Gilbert hook Clevenger. That's where all the wrecking begins, out back with Keith Jackson and company. And then you see Clevenger spin out. And would you look at that? Roger Craig, Gary Sigelkow, 1 and 2. And just look at the pandemonium breaking out here, folks. We're going to watch this in real time from another angle. Show you what this brings us. Whoa, Barry Gollner up in the air once again. Now let's get you a couple onboards here. Let's go Keith Jackson. He got rear-ended from behind. And Jesse Atkinson trying to miss it. And he got rear-ended from behind too, from maybe McLaren. Let's go to Barry Gollner. Catch the zip. Oh my goodness! And he is tied with Moreau for airtime today. Boydell, how about that for an angle? Let's go to Stephen Gollner. Missed one. Car just got sideways, tried everything to save it. Didn't work. Let's go to Clevenger. All right, we want to rewind this. And we got to show you the rear end. How this happened. Tried to block, I think he tried to block Gilbert. I think that is what happened indeed, and we'll go to Gilbert's onboard to show you this. Or no, I'm sorry. He tried to block Gingrich. That's right. A lot of accidents happening there as we're coming to 1 lap to go. And I want to look at the damage here and see if SiGoCal has some stuff we need to look at. You see the left side has just some sort of damage. And you
How
can
does
see
mine look, Marty?
the
I had a
fender
minute worth of repair.
The fenders caved in on the 17 of Gingrich from the block. I'm gonna let's look at Shaggy. I'm trying to find you. Up. Coming on track right now. You don't look bad. I think you look fine.
They told me it was all repairable, so hopefully this thing stays green here. Anything can happen.
And then you can see some SRC teammates with a lot of yellow. And now, did Gary blank out? SiGoCal has not come back in. If he timed out, we're gonna look at iRacing closely. Ah! Damn it! His connection dropped due to packet loss.
Yeah,
that's a shame. Ah, that's horrible luck for Gary SiGoCal. Perfect chance to win tonight. And dang. Alrighty. Roger Craig's going to be the lone retread in this to try and win it.
Man, I still wish I was behind him. I didn't want to single anybody out, but he would have been the one that I'm pushing out of those ones you named. I wish I was up there to help him.
Craig and Gingrich, row 1. Moreau and Johnston, row number 2. Offert Floyd, row 3. Ross McLaren, row number 4. Boydell Strausser round out the top 10.
If Offit still has damage, this might be a quick end of the race here. People aren't patient.
Alrighty, we're coming back to green. Let's do it. Craig able to hold serve. Moreau, though, does have a nice draft. That low line's got the momentum for right now. Nobody decided to go high. So who's going to make the first move? Watch Floyd and Johnson. They were hooked up together, and everybody goes high. There's trouble behind them. Moreau makes the move. Did he take the lead? He did. No caution yet. We stay green. Moreau goes to the point. Gingrich to second. Floyd to third. And everybody's getting aggressive here. And now they're wrecking again. Caution is out. Matt Moreau's the winner. One upside down. And on his side, that is the 68 of Strausser. On the final lap, and the race is going to end under caution. And Matt Moreau will take the Wheeling colors to victory lane with Gingrich second and Floyd third. Biggest mover will be G.J. Boydell to finish in 7th after all of that. Zach, you had to make your way from the back and you finished in 8th, man.
Yeah, nah, I just got lucky. I got caught up in that thing on the last lap. Barely got hit in the left rear, but was able to keep it straight, and another caution came out and saved me because I was probably going to be pretty slow. But, yeah, that was a fun race, and, started out saying this is all for charity, man, so this is a good time, and I hope everybody else felt the same way. Hopefully there's no hard feelings. You almost always got to expect a wreck here at the end on a plate track.
Roger was having fun. He was hoping. Does it go by the last completed green flag lap? Unfortunately, it doesn't. We're coming to the checkered flag here. And Matt Moreau in the Wheeling Dodge will take the win in the ARCA Series in Speed Weeks. Congratulations to the number 38. he gets it done tonight at Daytona. Now let's look at the chaos that broke out, and we're also going to show you Moreau's pass for the win. Here was the pass just as Gary Offut had crashed, too. Moreau timed it perfectly. Didn't know if a yellow was going to fly here. But then this was the yellow to end it all. Watch this. Strouser came up, tried to throw a block. It ends with a 68. Upside down. We also saw Gary Offut had crashed coming back to green, got turned off the bumper of the 5, luckily below the yellow line, and we also saw a great save from Gilbert. But congratulations to Matt Moreau for getting the job done. And we'll try and get your top 3 on in here. Results are official, by the way, so here's how they look. Again, results all finish under caution. How about the guy that finished in 10th, by the way? Dean Reynolds, a 10th place finish, was quiet all race long. A bunch of wrecks was involved in it and finished in 10th. Well done to Dean. So top 3, by the way, posing for a photo, and we'll get them in just a matter of moments. 15 drivers finishing on the lead lap. Neil Strouser finishing 12th as his race came to an end on his lid. Then the rest of the field.
We've got some guys that don't normally race with us, Marty, so I wouldn't be surprised if this is me and you interviewing each other.
Well, I guess we may have to make that the case here. Oh. All right, we got Brady, though, at least, so we will bring him in right now and talk to him. Well, Brady, obviously not the way anybody wants it to end, but a 3rd place finish. Walk me through your strategy going into that second overtime.
I mean, just we kind of knew caution was coming out, given how the race was going, so it was just work as best we can together and get all we could get. I am gonna have to speak for the guys because Matt's mic is broken currently, and I think Quinn had to get off. So, unfortunately, I'm all you get tonight. But no, what a race. It was fun when things were clean. We didn't get too much of that, but the ARCA cars are always fun to run when you're able to go 3 wide and in and out of draft, mixing it up. So a good performance across the board from the guys. I think Quinn's probably still going to be leading the asphalt championship, so we're fingers crossed for that one. I'm pretty sure he's going to have to miss Wednesday, so we're trying to get as many good finishes now before we have to drop that race for him. So, but yeah, I mean, it was a lot of fun.
Who do you want to give shout outs to?
All the guys back at Adri Esports, of course. We're cheering on Jesse as well in the dirt, trying to get him to an overall championship. So that's our main goal. We're here trying to help him. Didn't work out as best it could tonight, but that's the plan. We got a shout out to our sponsors as well. Pierce Graphics for any broadcasting or graphic needs, you can find him at piercegraphics.com, and then Fourcloak Media for broadcasting and paint and media needs. You can find him at fourcloak.net. So, and again, thank you to you guys for broadcasting. This is all for charity, so I encourage everybody watching to spare a few dollars and donate as much as you can.
All right, we'll let you go. Congratulations, a great run for you and a great run for the podium.
Yep, thanks so much, Marty. Have a good night.
You as well. Brady Floyd, the winner. I do want to take a look at a couple other things here real quick. We do have the race results from tonight. Matt Moreau, guys, take a guess how many laps he led tonight, Zach.
All right, since you said it like that, I'm going to guess 1, the last one.
Nope. He led 2.
Okay.
He led the penultimate lap that led to the caution flag and the final lap. So, congratulations to Matt Moreau on getting the job done. And that 12 lead changes tonight as well in this race. So, that was a fun one when we had the races going under green. And I do want to take a look, and I believe we may have it here. And we're going to watch it in real time. The onboard with Neil Strauser during his flip. I believe we have it here. So let's pop this up. We do. We want to rewind this tape too. He just simply made a bad block. This is what you're seeing if you're a passenger.
Yeah, easier said than done, but you know as well as I do in these cars where you can't really bump draft. You can't throw blocks as much as you want to. You just got to let them go by and try to side draft and get the momentum back before the start-finish line. This is a tough car if you're not really holding your line.
Yep, I know there's going to be some drivers that are going to be frustrated after being close to taking a checkered flag here tonight. So Zach, as we log off here, I know it says ARCA Speedweeks winner, ignore that. As we log off here tonight, Zach, final thoughts.
Well, tomorrow night, I hope everybody's back to join me. We won't have as good of a quality of broadcast, but I'll try to bring you some entertainment. You know, we have a good show tomorrow night, so it's all for the Steve King Foundation this week. So as everybody out there viewing, watching, please go to C2CRL.com, and the PayPal link for the donation is on the website, and every dollar you can spare is much appreciated, and it's going to a great cause.
Absolutely. And the car and dirt car tomorrow will be broadcasted for you. UMP's at Volusia, followed by the trucks at Daytona. Don't miss out on it. On behalf of everyone at the Coast to Coast Racing League and all the fine drivers and sponsors, Roger Craig, Preston Kramer, the talented group of admins. Special thanks to Zach Chapman, my broadcast partner in the booth tonight. I'm Marty Sakala saying so long and congratulations to your winners. Isaac Salas in the late models and Matt Moreau in ARCA. So long, everyone.